Hey, hitches and bitches, welcome back to the Timeless Gamer Show, where our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey, it is
Timeless.
timeless. And this show is now being broadcasted to you live in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And to check out our previous episodes, you know where to do. You know where to go. Just go to the YouTube channel, Timeless Gamer Show, or by going to the website, timelessgamers.com. And you can also listen to us by going to all of your major streaming platforms out there where you get your podcast. We are there. And we would also like to give this opportunity to give our appreciation to Bitmaps and Streamyard. And of course, a shout out to our Retromancy friends, Studio.ph, Shuffle Emporium, and Retro Unlimited. And of course, the Sega Mega Masters show for inquiries, questions, remarks, suggestions. Just email us timelessgamers.show@gmail.com. And previously on Timeless Gamer Show, we did our the part 3 of our Dungeons and Dragons campaign with Sir Eric Wahlberg. And due to a series of unfortunate events, another another party member has bitten the dust, so to speak. So if you're curious on what happened to our latest adventure, you know what to do. So for this episode, guys, we are going to talk about the gacha video games. And for this episode, we are going to be joined by the panel. We got Sir Jose.
Hey guys, I'm here to talk gotcha games. It's not my genre or game of choice, but I have played one, I guess. So I'm here to talk about it and learn about other gotcha games from the rest of the Timeless Gamers panel.
All right. And just like Sir Jose, I have no idea what the hell I was playing, but apparently it's gacha. And Sir Joel.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. This is Joel of the Banyaga Native Facebook page, also streaming on Rumble and on Kick and on Twitch, talking about gacha games. Again, this is, like most of our panel here, this is not my forte game. Actually, when it started coming out, I wasn't really familiar with the genre, but I've gotten familiar with it because of my wife and my daughter who really got into it. And now I'm here to talk about what I've observed about it. And I hope you guys join us in the chats too and tell us about what you've observed about gacha games. Stick around.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Joel. And of course, we got the lovely Miss Hino.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Pardon the vertical screen for this episode. I can't fix my camera, but yeah, gotcha games. I can't say that I've played a lot, but I've been playing one particular game for many, many years. So that's why I'm here right now. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you for that, Miss Hino. And of course, the person who urged for the topic to be discussed today, we got Sir Drew.
Hello, guys. It's your Pinoy otaku in Japan, but not in Tokyo. This is Drew, and we're gonna be talking about gacha games, the easy to enter gaming genre, but it's gonna be hard to get addicted to because it would actually cost you so much more money than normal games. Anyway, the reason why I actually wanted to talk about this topic it is because most of current generational gamers actually play gacha games more than other games because everybody has a phone. It's easily accessible. You just download it. It's free to play. Anyway, we're gonna be elaborating on this later on as the show proceeds. But anyway, I'm glad to be back, and this is your Pinoy Otaku. Back to you, Sir Joe.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Drew. And before we head to the festivities of the night, we just want to greet a happy birthday to one of our co-panels, Sir JDM, Sir Juan De Marcos, celebrating his birthday, his 70th birthday.
He said this
I
only
know.
29.
Oh, my math is fucked. Okay. You know what? So he's celebrating at the moment with his family, and that's why he cannot be here anyway. So to start JDM, enjoy your day and happy birthday. We'll see you again in the next episode.
Yes,
So, guys,
JDM availed of his annual birthday leave. So he decided to avail of it, went up to the mountains, started training. He's under a waterfall right now, having tons of water and us shoving down on him, naked except for a loincloth. And yeah, he'll be back, muscular and his hair flowing even better than it has before. So yeah, continue on, John.
all right, thank you for that, guys. And so we'll head out to show and tell. In this segment, we will just bring out in the screen the latest acquisitions that we got so far, whether it's games, toys, gaming memorabilia, music, whatever, anything nerdy culture related. So, who wants to go first? I believe Sir Jose might.
Oh, okay. I'll go first. All right, so I only have a couple of things. Random pop up on the Cheap Ass Gamer Twitter. This was in stock on Amazon.
Sorry? What is that? Sorry for the Game Boy Advance.
It's Sorry, Aggravation, and Scrabble Junior. So
yeah, 3 board games
Really?
in one Game Boy Advance
Yeah,
card.
it was
Oh,
only $10, and it's like in really good shape. So I got that. I got the PS4 version
sealed. Wow.
of SNK versus Capcom,
Nice.
and then I got what I told everyone I was going to get, so we can finally unravel the mystery.
Final
Oh,
Fantasy.
So
You
yeah,
got the novelization. Okay.
I've gotten through one chapter so far, and
How does it read? Does it read like you're watching the movie, or is it its own experience?
no, it's kind of like so far it's kind of like you're just watching the movie.
I see. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, so
Like,
hopefully there's some
first-
differences later.
Mhm.
Hopefully explains the 0G sex that happened.
All right. Thank
Well,
you for
that's it
that, Sir Jose. Talking about that 0G sex. How about Sir Joel?
All right. Well, in my case, oops, sorry about that. Press the wrong button. Let me just turn off the background so that it's a little bit easier. Honestly, the funniest thing recently in shopping here is there haven't been all that many good deals, except, video game wise. Like if you wanted to buy a physical copy of a particular game, there haven't been all that many good sales recently. About the only thing that I've acquired is a a controller from CRKD, Cracked. It's the Atom controller. It's a keychain controller. Basically, it is something that you carry around with you, which is a Bluetooth controller that could connect to whatever Bluetooth.
that's
enabled
hella
device you
cute.
have. It's there you go. It's
I
tiny.
want that one. That's cute.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I connected it to my cell phone already, and it functions fully. I play my RetroArch emulator with it on my cell phone. I've been playing a lot of Survival Kids on the Game Boy Color. Survival Kids is an early survival type of game where you gather resources. Well, first things, of course, you get washed up on a beach in a deserted island. You have to survive by getting food, coconuts, dry leaves, have to start building a fire, have to gather resources and everything. And this allows me to play it really well. It feels well in the hand. The buttons are very clicky. The feedback is good, and it's got all the buttons that you need except for the analog sticks, of course. So all you have L1, L2, R1, R2, A, B, X, Y, start, select, the menu button, and you can carry it around as a keychain or on your wrist strap, or you can just slide it into your vest pocket like that. So you guys know me. I like things that are nice and small and portable. That's my only acquisition for the week, the Cracked Atom controller. Who knows? Maybe we can find one of the representatives and maybe we can do a collaboration or an affiliation with them. they have some really good controllers too, like a really nice Switch a dock controller that has Hall effects. I'm hoping to be able to get that too. This one normally is selling for about $20. It went on sale this week for 15. I just grabbed it already because I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to play my games on the go, not just on the physical. My cell phone doesn't have any physical buttons, so you want to use a controller. And this one serves the purpose amazingly. You just slip it into your pocket. Whenever you want a gaming session, you pull it out, you connect it to your cell phone, and you play a round of, I don't know, Mario Pinball. Plays well. That's my only acquisition for the week. Back to you, Joe.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Joel. And of course, how about Miss Hinu? What you got?
For games, I don't have them yet, but recently, maybe I was last week or so, a local game store here had this like warehouse sale, and some of my friends went there. I can't really go there because it's rather far, so I asked them to get me a PS4 copy of Shredder's Revenge. I had the chance to play it for the first time during the Christmas break, so I really had fun. So I got one for the PS4. I have two controllers, so maybe me and my siblings can play it. And then the other game that I asked for was the Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise, which is essentially a retelling of the first Final Fantasy game. As for some unique stuff, I actually have here. Now, this isn't mine. This is my brother's,
You
but
love
I
reporting.
I helped him assemble this
Mm.
since I did just a few gunpla, and it also has wiring. So I would say it's a bit complicated to assemble. We have a lot of broken parts. So if you're someone who isn't used to like handling like very fine, pieces of plastics, because there are wires, there are antennas and whatnot. It can be frustrating. But the cool thing with here is that the reason why it has wires is because uh, the propellers are actually moving. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but the propellers are moving here. And the middle switch over here, it lets you, there's a light.
Lara.
I have
Ah,
light in
yes.
I
display, but you
thought
can't really see it.
I thought that I was able to dodge this one, but after you showing this, I'm not so sure. So maybe somebody's gonna go to Amazon and buy me this one, please. Somebody go
Um,
next.
uh, is that the one that does it talk like like does it say Kirov reporting or
Sadly, no,
Bering
it doesn't
Strait?
have
Okay,
that. But
okay,
I
okay,
think
okay. I'm not
it's
It
getting it.
should.
it's
It
actually,
does not take care of reporting, so
but it's cheap. I don't think it's above like 4,000 Philippine peso. Maybe
yeah,
three
Ah,
plus to
it's
4,000.
actually
It's
cheaper
really
here.
cheap.
It got a markdown because on release I think it was going for around 12,000 yen, so now it's 9,000 yen or something like that on
Mm.
Amazon. So
nice.
But to those who are like, collecting, as a disclaimer, this is a third party manufacturer, I think. So it's not
Oh, that's
officially
fine.
released by the company. Some are elitists, and maybe people would like to know that. So, yeah,
Boo.
that's it for me. Thank you,
All
guys.
right.
Back to you.
Thank you for that, Miss Hino, representing the Red Army right there. How about Sir Drew?
okay, so actually, since December, I think I was really on a hiatus when it comes to purchasing items. So naturally, last week I bought a lot of stuff. So anyway, one of the things that I've been enjoying Sakamoto Day so far, the anime. I can't read manga because I don't understand kanji. So, um, just last week this got released. So this is Sakamoto Taro, the protagonist of the said anime. He looks
Yes,
like Coach
Anzai Sensei.
Ansai. He looks like Coach
Anzai Sensei.
Ansai
Yeah.
from Slam Dunk.
Slam dunk.
See? Okay. Anyway, and Besides this one, I also reviewed and unboxed this particular figure, which I really recommend. If you're interested, check out the channel. It's on Geek Out Gaijin. Anyway, this is Figurism Alpha, or other also known as Figurisma. So Tears of the Kingdom Link, as you could see, is as big as my head, so comparable to first four figures. So, but way cheaper. So, if you're a fan of Legend of Zelda, fan of Link, check this one out. It's way cheaper, and just look at the base. You're not getting the cheap ass looking black base for this one. And
Mm.
also, I also got some Persona stuff. So I got the three
Ooh.
protagonists from Persona 3, 4, and 5. So this is Q Set Plus from Good Smile Company. I did not pre-order this. I just happened to come across this on the store, and I'm like, I like chibi deformed stuff. So I got sold on this. It's around $25 each, I think, if properly converted. And naturally, I got some games. Mostly JRPGs. So Fantasia
Fantasia.
Neo Dimension. So originally
Nice.
an Apple arcade game. So JRPG. Awesome
Wait,
from
I have a
Newswalker.
question before I forget. Sorry, Drew. In Japan, did they release the PS5 version for that game?
Yes, they did.
Does it
I just
have
decided to get the.
multi-language?
It has full language support, both for the PlayStation and
Nice.
the Nintendo Switch. So that's why I got it.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And also I got Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which is actually, this one started as a gacha game. Then they released a fighting game. Then they finally released this one, and it actually, I'm not sure if it also has gacha mechanics. I haven't gotten around to playing it yet. And also finally got my copy of Persona 3 Reload. And lastly, Ender Magnolia. This just got released. So Metroidvania, the sequel for Ender Lilies. It has a Metroidvania style gameplay that has a similar battle mechanic to folklore from PlayStation 3. If you guys know that, you got someone's using them as your buttons. Anyway, that's it for my haul. And back to you, Sergio.
Oh,
All right.
I made a mistake. We do have one piece of gaming news, just very quickly, Joe.
Okay.
Just to keep it in. Forza Horizon 5 is coming to PlayStation 5. Just that, okay? Forza.
What?
It's kind of big.
Forza?
Forza
Really?
Horizon 5 is one of the flagship titles of Xbox, Microsoft, and they have struck a deal to release Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation. And just letting you guys know. So, as the joke goes, finally there's a good there's a good Horizon game on PlayStation. You know. Anyway.
Some
Oh,
some use for the PlayStation, yeah.
Aloy's heart just got broken.
Mm. I
Um
mean, Gran
also
Turismo is on notice because you have to admit, Forza Horizon is a really good racing game, open world
is.
series. And if the PlayStation fanboys get a taste of Forza, well, they might decide to have a look at what else there is on Xbox. Anyway, back to you, Joe.
I was hoping to get the some JRPGs that got released like last year, like last quarter. We got Visions of Mana and the Dragon Quest 2 remake or remaster,
Mm.
and then the what's the other one? Romancing Saga 2 remaster as well. And then just recently, they released Tales of Graces F, the remaster as well for the PS5. And then I remembered I'm broke as hell, so I'm like, I'm gonna get those maybe if they went on sale. All right, and so right now, I'll just show you this one. It's called one of the collector's edition, the
Oh,
Fleeting Glory edition of Fate Extella Link. So I got this from our local EB Games, like I think 2 years ago. I just forgot about it. It's one of their it's one of, the story was, so they were selling this, so it's anti-SCUS, and they got a lot of surplus of this that they were selling on they were selling on sale, and all of them are in boxes like this. I'm like, and they're selling it for rather cheap. I'm like, why? I mean, this is premium grade game right here. Why are they selling it for so cheap? So
Well, what are
I
the
got a copy.
inclusions?
It has so it got a soundtrack, a 4.5-inch wide 3D acrylic diorama, a set of 10 all new 3 by 5 servant cards, a 17 by 24 cloth wall scroll, and of course the games.
That's
Like
a
an
Uh,
add-on, and
lot.
of course the game. You know.
And of course, and to my understanding, there are some gotcha elements in here, but I haven't really, but I'm not, I haven't really checked per se. I'm like, if it has a gotcha game element in it, very appropriate for this episode. That's all for me. So, speaking of gotcha, let's talk about gotcha, guys. And here to talk about more about gotcha, introduce us about gotcha, we got Sir Drew and going to introduce us the 101, the 411. What's gotcha?
well, Gacha game actually it originated. It's a form of loot box. It's actually the most devilish form of loot box, and all most of gacha games are free to play. And I'm just saying most because I'm not sure if there is an actual gacha game that has the wherein you need to buy an actual game before you do the gacha. Anyway, most of these are free to play, and usually they release on cell phones and on PC to have a wider net of audience so that they could get more people trying them, getting more people hook into them. So basically, what makes a gacha game is it's any particular game. It doesn't really adhere to any specific
Genre?
genre. Some of there are action RPG. Some of them are turn-based RPGs. Some of them are adventure games. What makes this games actually called gacha is each and every one of this particular games has a particular system wherein you will try to get a certain item, character, or other things from the game using premium currency or certain currencies in the game that you would try, let's call them wishes, because this is basically what they are used for. You are using this certain currency to wish that you get a certain character. So it's like entering into a lottery or doing the slot machines, doing a pachinko. It's basically gambling, but there they would not be admitting into it. It's same as loot boxes. Basically same as loot boxes. So free to play game, you're basically trying to collect them all a la Pokemon, and ironically Pokemon just got number one spot I think last week, and they just dropped this week, and that is the Pokemon TCG, the trading card game. So it's just a game that actually promotes people to gamble on a certain steep percentage, usually 0.6 or usually less than 1%, to be able to get the character, the item on the banner, whatever it is you're trying to get. And um most people have actually tried this, and especially people who only play on phones. And one of the leading developers for this is Hoyoverse. So if you are trying to look on the YouTube for games, etc., etc., you might have encountered Genshin Impact, Honkai Impactor, Zenless and Zero. You know, the ones who are really, really advertising their games. That's usually Hoyoverse, because they get a lot of money from this particular genre. Anyway, that's my TLDR for Gotcha games. So if any of the panelists would want to add anything to the description of Gotcha games, I might not have summarized it properly, but to the best of my knowledge, that is the most apt way that I would be able to describe a Gotcha game. Guys,
How about Miss
Yeah,
Hino?
I have something to add. So, the term gotcha game is actually from the Japanese for gachapon or gashapon. It's actually the ones that you see in the arcade, the capsule toys, wherein you insert the coins, you turn the knob, and then you get a random toy. So these are not only popular amongst kids, but I think a lot of adults also collect these toys. I think I got one here. Uh, these things, gachapon, and they applied the mechanic of randomly getting like the loot boxes or the prizes from the machine. They turned it into like they gamified it, and that's where Drew's explanation comes in. So you get a random character, get a random item, a random weapon or whatnot, and you're basically just playing the capsule toy game virtually. That's it for me. Thanks, guys.
All right.
yeah,
Joining us, Shin. Talk about gacha. Go.
Jin!
Hey, what's up, guys? Gotcha. They are the vein of my existence. That's why, as you can see on my name right here, I'm an ex-Shikikan. For those who knows what a Shikikan is, probably would understand what I meant by that. Yes. So, anyways, I am a recovering Shikikan slash recovering Gotcha whale person. So, I've seen the light, and I've been
Oh,
a good
you're one
boy
of those
since then.
whales, Shin. Ah,
Used to.
describe.
Used to. Well, basically, it's like you're gonna go and waste enough money to actually get enough pull. One pull is not enough, so that's the reason why you're gonna spend extra amount of money to actually get those 10 pulls in order for you to actually get those rare characters or rare weapons that you might need for certain specific games.
Yay, so glad Shin is here.
All right.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you for bringing up whales. I was so afraid of bringing up whales. Thank you for that.
well, you think you're the only one, right? Are,
Why?
are you also a recovering one, huh?
I recovered,
Sir
but
Joel, anything to add about
I haven't
gacha?
spent anything on my current game, so I'm
Mm.
F2P.
Well, not really much. I do recall that the gacha has been featured as a mechanic in a few games, not necessarily as a gacha mechanic, but as something. Like I do remember the game
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yokai Watch. The very first yokai character that you got was from a gashapon machine. Yeah, the main character finds a gashapon machine in the middle of the forest, gives it a try, and then the first yokai comes out, which is Whisper, the ghost, and it kind of highlights how big of a thing gashapons are in Japan, and how it's starting to permeate into the gaming landscape. So generally, yeah, the I do recall. I don't recall if it was Eric Wahlberg or Jeff Humio who actually mentioned something about whales in gacha games. But yeah, that was my familiarity with the term whales in gacha games. The fact that there are some people who are willing to spend enormous amounts of money to be able to get everything that needs to be gotten in a gacha game. So that's my little contribution to it.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Joel. How about Sir Jose? What can you add, or what's your story about gacha?
I have a coworker who will not shut up about Zenless Zone Zero. He literally asks me like every day, "Have you started it?" Because he like gave me his whole. You would think he was working for the company with the spiel he gave me. And he told me about every fucking character. He told me how it works. He told me how fun it is, and
What the?
he literally for like a month straight
He
was
knows.
asking me every day, "Did you start it? Did you start it?" "No, I didn't start it." "Hey, I saw you were on it." I was like, "Yeah, I was gonna start it," and then I remembered I had to do something, and I didn't. And then he's like, "Did you start it? Did you play it? Did you start it? Did you play it?" So I don't
You know
know.
what? For badgering me so much, I will not do it.
Right, I still haven't played it. It turned me off a little, so I never went back.
You came on too strong, guy.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Maybe he was trying to sell Sir Jose with Ellen Joe, the shark girl guy, the shark girl. Maybe was he selling you with her?
I forgot who he was talking about. He was going on about a certain female character.
That's how they always get you, my dude.
Yeah,
That's how they always get you.
I don't remember
that's
who he
always
said.
how they
but-
get you.
Agree.
Trust me, this 5-star character is so amazing that if you don't get this pull by this month, you will never get it ever again. 6 months later, you're gonna see it again. That's how it works.
That's what he
That's
was
how
telling
the full
me.
It's the
rotation
new
works.
meta. You need to roll for it.
Yes, you need to roll
Yeah.
for this. You need to do this particular setup. You need to get this supporter. Supporters have so much more value in them. You need to pull for this one. It's always about. That's why gacha developers do not, they just release a drip marketing. They let other people speculate on this one, and it's actually the community that sells this to other people. So it's a
Yeah.
very easy thing to to market for this
You know,
developer.
it's a good thing that they haven't included the mechanic of if you bring a friend in, it raises your.
Oh! They
do.
they
do.
kind
There,
of did
there are some
actually.
games like
Yeah.
that. Yes.
They
Oh
do.
wow!
There's a recommendation now. Yeah.
There are
Haven't you
games like
seen
that.
me share it on Facebook that I'm playing this game? You
Ah.
can
Yeah.
use this
Refer
particular.
refer to a friend. You're gonna get X amount of gems in order for you to
Yeah,
actually get this 10 pool kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
And I would like. I'm-
This episode has brought to you by Honkai Star Rail. Because Sir Drew basically shoehorned this topic. The Drew is gonna
Anyway,
get a lot more credits. Okay.
anyway, since we're here, I'm just gonna give a huge ass disclaimer on this since we are talking about certain games with
Here we
gambling
go.
mechanics.
I
And
would love to hear this. Okay.
a lot of people actually spend a lot of money. And there's one instance of a certain child from a certain country took the money that the parent is saving
I heard
for an
about that. Yes.
operation of his sister, spent it on Genshin, all of it, spent all of it on Genshin. They were not able to get it back. Hoyoverse did not give a shit what
Yeah.
it even got in the news and everything. They didn't refund or anything. They didn't even show any empathy.
And
Anyway,
believe it or not, that's the reason why I never played Genshin Impact was because of that news. After
Yeah.
hearing that and seeing how much because I have seen addiction when it comes to Gachapon, and the fact that it reached to that point, I was like, you know what? I don't even care how much the hype is. I know how Hoyoverse is like the next best thing since sliced fucking bread. I don't care. You know what? If you get people that are like this and that they are that addicted, I could just imagine what would happen if I play this. I don't want to go down that kind of rabbit hole.
So anyway, having said that,
Yeah.
having said our disclaimer, you are responsible for your own freaking money. So we wouldn't, whether you choose to wail on this particular games, you get enticed and try these games, you get addicted. We are totally not responsible for that. We're just gonna be sharing our experiences because we enjoy these games. We are responsible enough to admit that hey, we spent this much, we didn't spend this much, and whatnot. Anyway, just wanted to get that out so that we don't get people saying, "Hey, Drew said that we should play this game. I spent a certain amount of money, didn't get what I
He's
wanted."
he's really packing it in when it comes to the disclaimer because he got a funny feeling somebody's gonna end up playing something
Yeah.
and we might get blamed for it.
It's the internet. Somebody's gonna do something crazy and they're gonna blame somebody else for their mistake. It's the internet.
We all
That's
know how people go crazy on gacha game.
Yeah, and
We'll be
and
fine.
and most people actually say, how can I win with this game? Stop playing the game. That's actually what you would be
That is the real
hearing.
meta in there.
Yeah,
Well,
when you
yeah.
get there, when you
You-
wail on it.
Some would say it's the old quote from War Games with Matthew Broderick. the only way to win is not to play. But anyway, to continue.
Anyway,
It
anyway,
is actually. It is.
I'm actually thankful Miss Hinu and Shin are here to help me really really try
He's a small guy. Like what he the is already. He's a small guy.
anyway, yes, I'm also addicted to actual gachapons. As you can see, I have so many backlogs.
Physical
I haven't
ones.
even physical ones. I haven't opened them. See, my son is showing the other stuff here. So gachapon really really
Here's
addicting.
the rest of the ones you did.
It's because the problem with gachapon, you have a prize pool. You have, for example, 5 figures. You have 5 figures there, and just one of my examples is this eight ape escape. 4 pools, 4 freaking pools. I got the same ape, the same ape. Anyway, so you win some, you
Oh
lose.
my god.
You win
It
some.
is gambling, basically. You
Yeah,
know,
it is.
no matter how you turn it around, it is gambling, basically.
It is. Same with loot boxes and certain games. This is why, even though I like Xenoblade Chronicles, I hate the gacha mechanic on Xenoblade Chronicles. To up to this day, I still do not have Cosmos on my playthrough on that one. And yeah, you had to gamble to get a character in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and you have to go and grind for the currency for you to be able to pull. So that's how sucky gacha ratio really is, and that does not involve you
Don't
getting.
believe most. Yeah, do not believe most of the what they would say, especially
Yeah,
for everybody who's been playing a lot of gacha games. Do not believe the whole thing where they actually say while you're actually pulling off gachas that if you actually bought this much amount of tickets, blah blah blah, X,
no,
Y,
no,
and
no, no.
Z, you will get 10% pull. The chances of you getting this character for the month is going to be like a higher percentage. Don't believe that at all. And
Unless
yes, the perception of
unless
police ethic
unless
is
unless it has a PT system. So since we're in the definition of a gacha system, I'm just gonna say some games are actually making PT system. So what PT system actually means is when you get to a certain number of pulls
yeah.
on a particular banner for a particular character, weapon, light cone, card, whatever it is, you would get a guarantee. And they are actually practicing this on Senless Zone Zero, where they show you the guarantee. After this pull, you're gonna get 5 star or SSSR character. But here's the thing. You are guaranteed to get a 5 star character, but you're not guaranteed to get the one on the banner. So after this one, you get a 50-50% chance or 25-75% chance. You lose. Then you're gonna try and gamble again to get that particular PT. So after maybe let's say 200, 300, or 500 pulls, you actually get the character on the banner. So, but
Remind me. I don't know if I'm misremembering this, but I do recall this comment in the chats. JDM said, "My first Gachapon experience was getting Kamen Rider Black toy after buying 5 to 10 packs from a nearby Sari Sari store." I could be wrong in remembering this, but I do remember in Sari Sari stores, there's this little piece of paper that you pulled pieces off, and there was a number at the
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah, yeah.
bottom when you peeled it off.
That's the prototype of gachapons,
Yeah,
basically,
that's the
if you think about
prototype
it.
of Gachapon.
Mhm.
No, that's
Yeah.
not a prototype. That's the poor version of it.
Well,
No, that's the prototype, Chris Joe. Don't say it like that. Because I mean,
You know
most of
what
these
else are
Poor
gachapon?
version of it,
ago,
The
right?
Oh
card
yeah,
games. The card
yeah, yeah, yeah.
games.
there you go.
Friggin'
Yeah, card game.
gacha.
Yes,
Gotcha.
gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
You're
basically,
looking
gachas
for
are
specific
baseball
cards
card
and you're
games.
buying them
Yeah,
blindly.
Yeah, and
there you go.
blind
Yeah,
boxes. Blind boxes are gachapon. So when there's a prize pool, you are basically trying your luck to get a certain prize from the prize pool. So those are all blind boxes. Those are all
All I got were
gachapon.
plastic
So
balloons from the
yeah,
Sari Sari store.
different,
That's it.
different.
hey, don't look down at those plastic balloons. I used to love it. I almost ate one of those, but they're amazing.
Yeah.
where you would put it on the tip of the stick and put it.
Yeah,
in the
you wet it up with your saliva and everything, and then you blew it up. Yeah, yeah.
Here's the thing. The reason why gacha games are so well received, or Filipinos are more or less gonna play a gacha game when they
You're predisposed to be actually
enough.
told.
Enticed enough, because during after school in the Philippines, the minute you go out of the school grounds, the first thing you're gonna go and see is somebody selling you something that has a certain chance to be able to get that particular toy. And during
Yes.
my time, it's usually Bioman. I think the Bioman toys are the number one things that you would
Oh, my childhood dream. Oh,
see. I also tried for that. I never got those.
hey, I never always get the other half. That's what pisses me
Yeah.
off.
Yes.
Always. I just need the lower half. That's it, and I never
No
get
one
it.
ever does. No one ever does get the lower half.
No one. In my 12 years of elementary and 4 years of high school, I never saw anybody got that one. Never. Anyway,
I think it was a
Oh, wow.
con when we were kids. Yes.
Another thing I remember, cereal boxes. There was this one time
Oh
back when I
yes.
was a kid, like the Cocoa Crunch, the Milo cereals, the Honey Stars. They had these
yeah,
Star
they
Wars
don't do
cards,
that anymore, and I'm
and
actually bummed
you
that
can't really know what
they no
design there
longer
is
do.
until you buy a cereal box. So imagine at that time, it was a luxury. Cereals aren't
Yeah,
cheap. So, trying to collect everything,
and
Mhm.
that's
it's not
And you
really
Yes.
doable.
would beg your
Yeah.
parents to buy a particular cereal just for a particular toy. And if you didn't get that toy, you would keep pestering your parents to keep buying that particular
Hang
cereal
on.
over and over
Hang
again. And
on.
you wouldn't even finish the cereal.
Hang on. Oh, so basically, how about Happy Meal toys? Are they considered
Ah,
gacha?
yes, they are blind boxes.
No. I actually have to disagree with that because you have the
Same,
option.
disagree.
Now that I live here in the Philippines, I actually realize that you have the option to ask the person, "Hey, can I get this one?" And then they'll give it to you.
And
For the
I do,
Philippines, that works. Here, no.
yeah, and I do
You can
remember in the
even
Philippines,
ask them to. Can I at least touch it? Could
and I
at
do
least
remember in
touch
the
No,
it?
Philippines,
no, that's in the States though, but in the Philippines, I'll be right back. Let me just grab something real quick. I'm going to show you guys one thing
yeah,
that I got
sure.
from the Happy Meal.
No,
All right, I'll be back.
Go.
I was also remembering
This is
that
my show and tell.
you could buy the figures outright. You could tell the person on the counter, I want to buy the entire set. Okay, it's this X amount. Sure, okay. And then they would just bring each one to you and you would just pay, But I'm not quite sure if that's the case nowadays anymore.
How about Sir Jose? Sir Jose, Happy Meal toys, gacha or non-gacha?
I would say so because I know, like, recently around here, like, only certain stores get certain toys. So some of them, like, if say whenever those Hello Kitty Sanrio Yu-Gi-Oh collab came out, only some of them got some of them. The other ones had other ones,
Oh
so you
my
couldn't just
god,
visit
I
one.
got them all. Do not remind
Oh
me.
my god, I didn't get the one I wanted.
What did you
But
want?
yeah, I wanted the Dark Magician Hello Kitty, and I
What?
didn't get that one. Yeah,
Dark Magician. Oh,
There
fuck.
you go.
yeah.
There you
I have my
go.
box up here
There you
too.
go.
There you go.
There you
What?
go.
Hello,
I'll just use it as an
Hello Kitty and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, you got Dark Magician Girl.
What?
See, you
Yes,
got
yes.
Exodia.
Exodia. You got Exodia.
Exodia, and I'm
And
not
then-
familiar with this character. Apology.
So we got
I still
Exodia,
have that
Hello
one
Kitty,
too.
and
Okay.
oh, how about this one?
Oh, they both
Do you
have
got?
it.
You also got Exodia.
And then
What? Oh shit!
Dang.
What is that?
it was obelisk,
Oh, that's obelisk. Got.
and
Oh,
then
that's
here's
the
a
obelisk.
blue
one?
eyes,
Blue eyes, white dragon, Hello Kitty. Blue eyes, white kitty.
Cinnamoroll.
and the Karibo.
Ah, Kuripo. The Kuripo.
But I did
What?
not get the Hello Kitty one, the one I wanted.
Shit. All right.
There
I
one
did
more,
not know-
but it's not the Yu-Gi-Oh
I
anymore.
didn't
It's
know
like
this was a thing. I
McDonald's.
didn't know this was a thing.
Is that the ice
No,
cream
no,
machine?
because the wife likes Hello Kitty.
the
I like
soda
Yu-Gi-Oh.
machine. and then a little
That's
Jesus
Happy
true.
Meal
Christ, I'm a
box.
slave for McDonald's.
By the way,
Imagine,
just a little
imagine
off
pulling
topic.
a Happy Meal box out of a Happy Meal box.
Joe, you
Anyway,
gotta find your wife this if she likes.
Conception.
yeah, exactly.
Sure, Joe,
By
you
the
have to
way,
find your
Sir
wife this
Joe.
Okay.
What
if
is
she likes
that?
Hello Kitty. It's a
The
headset.
one that you're
Oh,
wearing
that's
right now?
No, this is a different one.
It's a
It's the same-
Target
it's the
exclusive.
same one,
okay.
Oh,
so
God.
you
By
like
It's
the
like
way,
the same
uh,
series.
Sir Joe.
so even Ricky is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Hello Kitty crossover. Why do I like it?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Just wanna really get this out. Sanrio actually does collaboration for anybody that wants to have a collaboration with them, simply because their one of their mottos is to be able to get as much
Awareness and recognition.
exposure to the lesser
Exposure.
known brands. So they do a lot of
Smart.
collaboration, as said by their company. So
Right.
one of their weirdest collaboration is their collaboration with Junji Ito. You know
oh, the one
the
who did the yeah,
yeah, so the
yeah,
horror flick
Spiral,
guy.
the horror manga guy.
Yeah, yeah, the horror manga guy. So
I thought it
yeah,
was for their 50th anniversary.
yeah, it is
The
for their 50th anniversary, but the Sanrio actually said that they do this all of this collaboration so for them to be able to showcase lesser known brands, lesser known people. So they just really like having collaborations with whatever brands would actually
Yeah.
want to collaborate with them. Anyway, that's it.
Had
Timeless
two,
gamer.
So
Okay.
two in 1 year at McDonald's.
yeah, speaking of McDonald's, yeah, there you go.
One side's
Oh,
Hello
that's
Kitty, the
cute.
other side's Snoopy.
That's so cute.
Timeless gamer and
Right,
Sanrio
so
collaboration upcoming.
this,
Okay,
yeah.
anyway.
yeah, this one's
Oh my
when this
god.
actually came in,
Oh, for adopted
yeah,
pet.
from
Or not
McDonald's.
pet
Now this
delivery.
is this is what I would say that like this is why I don't believe it's actually considered gacha, because when the wife actually got so into these, every single time that we actually get McDonald's, we decided to actually get a Happy Meal. And I think the only exploit that we did was basically get as many Happy Meals as we could. It's like, instead of getting a full meal, let's go for the Happy Meal for all three of us. And then you get all three of them. You just pick which one you want. It's like, can we get this one and this one, this one? So that's the reason why I don't think this is considered a gotcha here. I don't know about the other countries, but here in the Philippines, you just have to ask, really. And we basically collected all of them.
Right.
So,
So,
yeah, that's pretty much the only exploit that we thought of, is to just eat Happy Meal, and then each and every one gets a toy. So
And
Yeah, you
just
could just
like
buy
our
the
Joel
toy, too.
mentioned, I hope Sanrio is listening. Sanrio, Timeless Gamer is doing a collaboration. Hopefully soon. We'll send them out.
It'll be-
We'll send them a letter.
if it's specifically Kurumi, I can promise you guys that, like, if it's gonna be Kurumi, don't expect me to be up here. It's gonna be the wife. But especially when we're talking about Kurumi, it's
But,
like
you know,
she
if-
knows the lore.
But if
I'm gonna go for
if-
Gudetama actually because I'm bald. I look like an egg and
Nah, I was gonna propose Agretzko because
oh, that's a cool choice.
Oh God!
Cool
Oh,
choice. Metal karaoke girl, go.
exactly, yeah. Especially with,
All right.
with how we sometimes
Yeah, see-
rage. Viraj would be a
See what I mean?
Anyway.
And
Sanrio,
then he'll
please,
say,
a
"Oh,
Kurumi
that's
doll."
gay." He'll say, "Oh, that's gay." Sanrio, that's gay. All right, let's talk video games, guys.
He's
Hmm.
gay.
All right, back on topic.
Go ahead, show
Let's
Captain
go,
Drew.
for Drew.
Oh, I think
Like, he's slowing down.
Anyway,
It's lagging.
Up.
Who? Me?
So let's
Yeah, you're-
let's proceed with the video game. Sir Drew, go.
Okay, so
Yeah, let's go.
gotcha games. So before we go into our selection of gotcha games, let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of gotcha games. So pros, they're free to play. That's it. That's the only
Are
pro
they
that you
really?
got. Yes, they're
Are they
actually
though?
yes, they're free to
Yes,
play.
most
They're
of them
free
are.
to-
Yeah.
they're free to start. Okay, let me rephrase. They are free to start. So you're
Mhm.
you're just gonna get into this long ass intro, usually taking you up to 20 hours to going through the main quest. Then you're gonna hit the side quest. You're gonna get hit the, oh, maybe I need this one, need that one, need that one, and that's how they get you to pull, and they're gonna smother you with drip marketing. So that's the only pro that I could think about. And also some of them actually has awesome stories. Okay, so
Yeah.
um anyway, before I go to the cons, does anybody else have any pros for gacha games?
Uh, to
Any
me,
pros?
I like the for pros. It's like the fandom expands. For example, there's a very niche game slash anime or whatever. They make a gotcha game for it, and some people are just curious, even though they're not really familiar with the source material. And then they since they like the gacha game, sometimes some of them go and see the source material, or they go the other way. They just make fan art, fan fiction, etc. And I think that's a good way for some of the franchise to be more well known to people who won't necessarily touch the source materials.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's an
actually
expansion
agree
of
with that.
a anime series or like a different universe, and
Yeah,
pretty much it's like if you're just tired of like watching the same thing, sometimes these games that are free for free, either they would be from a certain anime that they would expand the story, or that like it would be like from a certain company that has this kind of style of animation and whatnot, that
yes.
you would actually feel like there's a new fandom that you can come into, just as like what Sinatora said.
Actually, most of gacha games actually are either from animes or actually collaborations with different particular video game series, like Final Fantasy did this with Brave Exvius and Omnia, wherein you could play all of these different Final Fantasy characters, have them all in the same roster, be able to swap them out. You just get to play with the particular characters that you like. For example, you just like all the bland characters, you just put Cloud there, you put I ran out of bland characters. Anyway, um so that's one of the things that this games actually, it gives you a particular environment wherein you could fantasize doing this, and they actually give you an environment to be able to do it. And as Miss Sinutora said, they expand on certain lore, like there's Bleach and a Dragon Ball Gacha games, Dragon Ball Heroes. They actually introduce new characters into these games that are not found on manga and on anime, and that
Yeah.
in turn actually gets merchandise. They get more sales from their toys, etc., etc. Anyway, yeah, that's a pro, one of the pros of gacha games. Anybody else would like to add to this?
I think the immersion
uh,
actually. There is a deep level of immersion, especially if you jump into the what I would call the rabbit hole. Depends on which series you're into, but there is a level of interaction. I mean, some of them, that's the reason why you're either called a commander and whatnot. Um, this is basically the answer for most people when it comes to like the whole dating sim back in the days. You only have like, this whole quest of actually growing after specific characters and whatnot. But on this one, not only do you actually have a chance to collect whichever waifu husbando that you have, but they could also be there where you can actually click at them and tell you that, have you been eating breakfast lately, Commander? You should actually watch for your health. Oh, Commander, I can't wait to go to another mission. I hope
They
that you could
greet you
pick me
on your
again.
birthday,
They
Yes,
greet you also on
it's
your birthday.
your
Yes.
birthday. That's why they
and you
make
can
you.
go for both sexes.
Yes.
You could go, actually, all most of the current MCs are actually um all you would be able to see if you saw the latest drip marketing for Senless Zone Zero. The newest character they released is actually trying um to seduce the main protagonist. Why? So and the people are like, oh, Yes, I gotta get her. She's into me. Actually, those are the characters that actually sell well. And for Honkai, it was Sparfly because their drip marketing was you, and you, the MC, was having a date, either the girl or the boy. It doesn't really matter which you prefer. They're still gonna try and seduce the main character. So basically, main character you, they're seducing you. Then yeah, that's how they get you.
My answer for a pro, what's pro? Okay, it's a very smart alecky response from me, especially with the kids playing with their mobile devices right now. It
Mhm.
teaches
Shout out to my
them.
son.
It it introduces them. It teaches them basic mathematics, like basic addition, subtraction, multiplication
Ah,
thing. Yeah,
I don't. Okay,
kind of.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah.
uh,
They're trying to calculate.
so how it also teaches them the laws of probability. So how many pulls do you have to play? So how many pulls do you have to do in order to come up with the certain results that you want to do? And for that to happen, how many of certain items do you need to collect just to get the certain probability that you're aiming for? Blah 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 blah. Blah. It teaches them
Or how many weeks do I have
arithmetic
to
and
save money
mathematics.
so that I can pull for a gacha
Yeah.
using
Yeah,
real life
Yeah.
money?
affects
It
real life
teaches
so
them
much.
being
Or,
thrifty.
or in my son's case, it's like how many ads do I actually have to click, and how
Yeah,
long would an ad to last in order for me to actually continue playing? Which is basically what my
They
son is expert at. It's
they
like,
will also appreciate how to count time backwards, like watching
yeah,
the
because of the
countdown.
countdowns. The
The
maybe,
countdowns
countdown.
keep your
maybe.
energy would
So far,
refresh.
yeah, because so far, like when I was like trying to play one of my son's game on my mobile phone, because I was kind of curious. I was like, I want to try to play this out. Like my son literally told me, it's like, Pa, you have to wait for 45 seconds for this next ad to finish. There's another ad that's gonna come in, and I'm just like, you actually are far more aware about how long a second of an ad is than actually like the mathematics that you have to deal with at your homework. What the hell
The
is going
kids
on here?
will be taught being patient and counting
Yes,
backwards. All right.
yes.
How
To
about
Joe's,
Jose?
I
What can you
guess,
say?
I
Anything good
guess,
about that?
to Joe's point, it
but
actually
till they can find.
teaches the theory of relativity because time stretches out longer the harder the more you wait for the ad to finish. So you're starting to
I
realize
think there is something about what Joe just said, guys. But the thing is that the moment that the child actually finds out the loophole, which by the way, my spawn just did, he actually know a loophole in order for most of the ads to actually get cut in half. And I'm just like, how do you do it? You just click on the ad, try to look at it, try to think that you're downloading it, and then go back to the game, and you're already halfway done.
Jesus Christ.
so he figured out the hack to it then, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
That that just reminded me back when my wife was playing Candy Crush. She would actually send notices to other people to for her to be able to get energy. I just told her, just reset the time of your phone. You're gonna get the energy back. And she's like, oh, she was like, it's like she just discovered fire, and she's like, oh.
yeah.
Sir,
I,
there you
I
go.
know the hack as well.
I think it'll just it sets up kids to expect disappointment in life when they don't get what they want.
Oh, oh, wait, bro, Jose just said something perfect about that because
Yeah,
I do agree when it comes to the disappointment thing.
yeah.
Because like the little guy over here, he's been experiencing a lot of disappointment, especially when he realized that he cannot get that game. Papa, can I get that game? No,
Yeah. Anyway, so that's a
you
really
haven't finished
Gacha
the other
game.
games yet.
that's
To,
an
to the to the
awesome perspective on this
to the
server.
young ones who are listening. Okay, if gacha game is enough for you to feel disappointed, then life will kick your asses. Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, I,
You're
I,
gonna
I, I
If
have
told
this
him
is
that.
if this is enough to make you if this is enough to make you feel depressed, being disappointed, boy, you have lots of
Get
things coming.
ready, get ready, my child. Get ready.
Get ready. Go.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait until you start getting into the courtship arena, and then you'll experience severe disappointment. Anyway,
Let's go cons.
Okay, let's go con.
It's-
So, I'm gonna start with the con. So, one really bad
show your
con.
wallet. That's all you need to show.
Yes,
What's the con? Show your wallet.
yes, that's the con. You would be actually be seeing memes. You would be seeing various memes of the SpongeBob showing the wallet simply because of playing a free-to-play game. Simply because it's very easy to fall down that rabbit hole. The very first purchase that you're gonna do in the game that you're playing, the gacha game that you're playing, that is the first and last mistake that you're gonna do in a gacha game. They're gonna entice you. Oh, this is just $6 for this express pass, wherein every day you're gonna get this certain amount of gems that you just all you need is log into it daily. Then they're gonna give you free currency, free pulls. They're gonna try and have you get the experience of trying your luck. Most of the time, I'm not sure if the percentage, the probability is raised for the first few pulls, especially when you're creating a new account to be able to entice you in the pulling process. But
Yeah.
once you go there, once you start swiping that card, it's not gonna be pretty
It
for you.
the probability gets lower and lower. It doesn't go higher, to be honest. It's just like it will
Yes.
give you the best character for that season. But the moment that you continue doing this as a whale, your probability gets lower and lower. But your consolation, however, is that you have X amount of gems slash money where you're going to
Mhm.
get nothing but the same pulls over and over again. Which is like, a good example would that be is Girls Frontline. And I will discuss about that game later
Uh, oh yeah, I was thinking about Nikkei. So different game, but
on.
same.
Oh, I have a story about Nikkei, trust me. I
Okay,
haven't played the game, but there's a reason why, and that's the story I'm gonna tell later. So
but it has a lot of buts.
Yes.
But it has a lot
that's
of
the
buts.
thing. That's what I'm going to say. That's the reason why I'm not playing. Look, okay, if you were still okay, how can I put it this way? If you were still a bachelor and then you're playing that game, I can see it clearly. You're laying down with your wife, and then like while your wife is actually playing her game, and you're like, okay, time to go for this one mission. The last thing you would want is just like, you look at your wife and your wife is like, huh, hmm. I mean, like in her case, she was like, go ahead and play it. Oh, you
I'm,
like
I'm
those sweats.
playing
Okay,
this
that's
game
nice.
for the plot. The plot.
The plot.
Oh no, she understands. It's just like she's the
I
last
have
thing I did
someone
was like,
here who actually plays the game. See,
Not right now, but played before.
he plays it.
Not right now. My
oh, so you already got
Anyway,
2B.
He's actually the reason why he's here in the room watching the podcast is actually waiting for me to do the live poll on the game. So that's why he's very invested. He's actually way more invested than me on the results of my poll. So as you can see,
That's where
guys,
the thrill comes in.
yeah.
You see, that's the thing. Is that like that's why I know this is gambling because there is that thrill of the pool. And one of the most famous people that plays gotcha games, Tectone, good old Papa Tectone, when he goes for his pull, it's so tense when he does it live. It is still tense if you're still watching a recording of it and whatnot, but the fact that you're there and he's gonna get that pull and he's aiming for this one character and he finally gets it, and then he gets another extra character that he's been waiting forward to for a long while. It's like as if it's also your own victory. It's
Yeah.
also your own game because you've been there. It's like you're invested. That's why I'm sure. That's why your son over there is also just as invested. But trust me, if he ever get a bad pull, trust me, he's also going to feel it too.
Oh, trust me, he did on his other games. We know when he does.
Yeah,
You would
it's a curse.
You
You
would,
know,
you
you know
would
that's the thing.
you would feel it from across the rooms.
Back in the day when I used to do this, when I see Tectone actually get a bad pull, I don't actually do pulls. It for some reason I know that if I also go get a pull myself, I will also get the same bad luck as he is. It's almost like a weather system. It's like, it's gonna rain, don't go outside kind of thing.
And some people actually watch. This is actually on gacha communities. Most of the content are besides the meta, besides the power creep, because besides the speculation, most of the content that people watch live is the live reactions when they're doing the pulls. And funny thing about this is most of the voice actors for these games actually do not have the characters that they're voicing in their accounts, because some of the rates are just so atrocious. And one of the biggest culprits of this is Fate Grand Order. I think everybody says that.
Oh yeah,
has-
Fago. As some of them would call it. They don't say it FGO, Fago. I'm gonna play Fago right now and then get.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. So for cons, there's so much cons. We're gonna this could actually take the whole discussion on the cons for if we're gonna really emphasize on this. But just I think we could close the discussion on cons. Just be really responsible with your money. Try to have a lot of patience, because honestly, most of these games you could actually do the story without actually pulling for premium teams or whatever. It's just the extra
So true.
content,
Yeah.
the end game content. But if you're just gonna trying to enjoy the story, you could actually make it work. There's a lot of no matter what game it is, I think there's sufficient amount of guides for you to be able to clear with just the word F2 FTP friendly, something like that. Look for it on YouTube.
Poverty guide, poverty
Yeah,
friendly guide, as
poverty
they would
guide.
call
There
it.
you go. There you go. Because based on what Shin has said, based on my experience with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, when you get to that point, it's not good. So if I didn't stop playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I wouldn't be able to collect all of these things on my back, all of my games. So yeah, just gonna close cons with that one. And having said that, back to you, Sir Joe, for our ads from our sponsors.
Start your own online live streams, webinars, podcasts, online classes, and virtual presentations with Streamyard. By using Streamyard's user-friendly interface, you can also do simultaneous multi-streaming if you have accounts to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms. If live streaming is not your style, video and audio recordings are also available, especially with those who have variable and inconsistent internet connections. The finished output will still come out as clear and well articulated, exactly as you originally intended. You can also customize the appearance of your presentation, like green screen effects, facial touch-ups to smoothen out those facial blemishes, multiple cameras for multiple guests joining in the discussion, your own wallpaper on the background, adding your own logo as a watermark, sharing videos from your own computer or other website for added visual aids with or without audio, uploading your own background music if you wish to set the mood when talking, and lots more. Before you can enjoy all of the wonderful full features of StreamYard, you can start with a 14-day free trial by using our link. Not only that you are supporting the Timeless Gamer Show, but you can see it for yourself how easy it is using StreamYard. Do you like playing video games? Do you like reading about history? Do you like learning about video game history? Then you should give yourself the gift of owning some video game history books from BitMap. Since 2014, BitMap Books have published numerous colorful and well-detailed hardbound books about video games, ranging from the different video game consoles of old and the various video game genres that will surely pique the interest of its core fanbase. BitMap's team of global video game journalists, players, and illustrators have produced numerous award-winning titles that celebrate the software, hardware, and developers that laid down the foundations for the billion-dollar video game industry we all know and love today. International shipping is also available with careful and considerate packaging from BitMap Books. If you don't want to take my word for it, then you can believe the people, almost 10,000 satisfied customers who submitted their glowing written reviews and video reviews after receiving their books from BitMap. By ordering your first BitMap book using our link, you will also be supporting the Timeless Gamers Show in spreading our love of video games and their rich history. All right, thank you for that, Streamyard and BitMap. So, second half of the show, guys, we will now go with our picks, our individual picks for the gacha video games. So, Drew, go.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna be talking about the it's actually developed by one of the worst when it comes to gacha games. When I say worst, I don't mean they make the bad games.
Bad.
They're just really bad at giving empathy and support, because we were the creator of this game is the creator of Genshin. So I I played this game before, then I stopped this, then due to a certain thing in real life, I just was like, I'm just gonna try and play this gacha game. It's a JRPG turn based, something up my alley. Maybe I like it. So apparently I got 250 hours on this right now after after a month. But haven't spent anything on this yet, luckily. And anyway, the game I'm talking about is Honkai Star Rail. So I'm gonna be here it is. It's on the screen right now. So this is my account, and
We're gonna do a
I'm
live
gonna
poll.
yeah, so we're gonna do a live poll on this one. Anyway, while I'm showcasing my characters here, so right now I only have like limited characters, are like three. So here it is. So I got Fug, the banner from the last banner. Then this girl, the one that turns into a mech, and this guy, the one that they said was Meta. Anyway,
Mhm.
um, so, short description of this particular game, story wise. So, you're on a journey. You just got woke up. You don't know who you are. Typical protagonist, amnesia. You get into train, an interstellar train. You go on an adventure with folks with the Star Rail people. You're gonna try and go on adventures on different planets. So that's uh that's the where they got their name, Honkai Star Rail. So whenever you go to any particular planet, you get into certain conundrums that you try to solve because you're such a good guy and you love trash cans. Anyway, yes, it's actually the lore. You could actually see memes about this particular game and the main character's love for trash cans, and it's something that you won't get unless you play this game. And story wise, I would recommend playing the game for the story, because each of the story, although characters are recurring and they're somewhat interconnected, each of the planets that you would visit, the story is somewhat self-contained. You could do it for the story of that, and it even allows you the choice to skip certain planets, so for you to get into the current happenings of the game. And one thing that I do like about this particular game is, um hey, see, I gambled. I got 50 instead of getting the guaranteed 100 jades. I gambled. So I only got 50. So lots of gambling there. This is the current event. You get a choice. Anyway, as I was saying, one thing I like about this game is you could replay previous events that have come that has already passed. So this is not something that most gacha games offer. So it's good for me to be able to replay the events that I was not able to play because I wasn't playing the game before. Anyway, sci-fi turn-based JRPG, and it's about breaking the enemy's toughness meter with certain elements, and that's why you are gonna be pulling four characters. Anyway, this is the full screen. So as you can see here, I haven't pulled. This is all from the game. I gotten it from just playing the story and the event. So I got 19,895 currency. And just to show you guys, so this is the wishes. So it's Star Rail Special Pass here. We're gonna do a live pull. So I could get 124. So to give myself somewhat of what do you say, control, we're gonna do just 40. We're gonna try and get, so here I traded, we got 40. We're gonna try and get the current meta character from the banner. So this is her, this is the Herta. So she's this super powerful witch scientist girl that is 1,000 years old, a crossbreed between um Madoka Magica or and a witch and a scientist. Anyway, let's try our luck and let's see if we could get it. And I do hope that I get it because I don't think I'm gonna get this much currency on this, and I don't want to spend money on this one. Anyway, let's do this. Let's go.
Sending my best of luck on you. Okay.
So
Sending my energy,
so
Makekidama.
okay, so this poll we didn't get a 5 star because so yeah, it should turn
You can
gold.
tell by the colors.
Yes. Better. So we're gonna skip. So we got 4 star. So I already have this one. So lots of trash things on there. So okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. No. No. Okay. So no. Again, no.
Yeah. For those who are wondering why is it that he knows, it's because like when you get a really rare pull in most gacha games, they show you a different animation that you're usually accustomed of. So
Yes.
it's already like a cue right there. That like when you see like, oh, there's something different color. Oh, I might have got something awesome, and then like, oh, there's a different one. So, anyways, go on.
Yeah. And actually, what Broshan is saying is, if I actually get a 5 star character, that flying star rail ticket would actually be blurry and it has some rainbow colors on it. So that's why I know. So let's go again. We still have two more fulls.
You have a visual cue, basically.
Yes. So no, still no. So that's why
You'll know.
I'm,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm trying to hold my breath, trying to see if there's a bit of hint. So you see there's still purple and still the same one. You see, that's how luck works on certain gacha games. They're gonna give you the thing, most of the times the thing that you don't want, you don't need. That's what they're gonna give you. Anyway,
Reminds me of
and
Girls Frontline.
so the more you pull, actually, the more desperate you tend to become. And when this particular, see, we just traded a couple of thousand currency for the Star Rail Pass. I only got 40. And for context, the um for you to be able to get this much, you would actually need to spend around $200 for you to be able to get this much. And
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's how much money whales spend on these games. Anyway,
Like
last
you
poll for this.
basically bought a whole new game plus a whole
Yes,
lot more.
a new collector's game for them to be able to get a chance at getting the character. So they're not guaranteed that getting it. They're just paying $200 for a chance. So anyway,
God damn.
last poll for the night. Let's go. And there we go. We got it. We got it. We got
All
it.
right, all
We got
right, all
one.
right,
We
all
got
right.
one.
Okay,
Now
okay,
we
okay,
have
okay, okay.
50% chance of getting that. See, there's the gold. There's the gold. There's the gold. We're
Yeah, it's always being
oh, no,
gold.
not. There you go. There you go. See,
All right.
see. Oh, anyway, good.
There it is.
Oh, god damn
Yes.
it!
I'm
Yes.
just out right now. Hey,
Yes.
I'm gonna call this out right now. You know the reason why you pulled out that character? Because we're streaming.
Because we're
One of those
streaming.
conspiracies. That's one of those
Drew,
conspiracies.
Drew, Drew.
Reason.
Don't go out tomorrow because you've drained all of your luck.
Yeah. Don't try
Let
to
it
do
be known. Okay.
by the way.
Let it be known, guys. Sir Bernal Drew got the thing. Got
I
the
got
the,
the
the five
thing.
star
I got the
character
thing.
in Genshin Impact. After spending way too much time on this, he only got it by doing the show, the Timeless
Yes.
Gamer
Yeah.
Show.
See?
Yeah, live streaming actually adds 20% of your luck.
Anyway, so
Every streamer knows that, guys. Come on now.
Sir Joel, he got the thing.
I got the thing.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna go far into dissuading people from playing, gotcha games from this show.
Yes, don't play this game.
You know what? We got our clip. I'm gonna use this as our clip.
Yeah, use this as a clip. So for those
Anyway.
I'll use it as our short and reel.
let's try to live stream. Trust me, for some weird reason, it always works.
It detects people's bandwidth, and they say, "Oh, this person is streaming. Come on, let's give him."
Oh,
some-
he's streaming. He's streaming Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail. Let's try to raise up a little bit. Give him 20% luck.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, spree at birthday.
Make sure it's the last pool, by the way.
It was his last
That's the last
pull,
pull. That's the last
and
pull. So
everybody here was silent, not trying to jinx it.
Yeah.
anyway,
I was about to prepare my laugh track, but I was like, no. Be patient. Be patient. Come on. Let's give him hope. Come on.
I'm
And
sorry.
he did. Hey, I'm happy for you, but you remember what Sissy Notora just said. By tomorrow, whatever you're gonna try to pull is gonna suck because you already got that 5-star character.
Well, might as well open this one. Let's see if we can
There
get
you go.
anything on this one.
I don't think it transfers with physical media, but go ahead.
Go on ahead. What? Are you hoping to get someone? Are you hoping to get something?
I'm trying to
specific
get
Pokemon?
a holographic something because I'm not really that knowledgeable with Pokemon cards
So,
lately.
so
Lately.
as long as it's holographed, yeah.
Okay.
As long as holographed,
So-
go.
As long as it's a hologram. So this is 5 pieces. So 5-piece pack.
Crossing my fingers for you.
So no,
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 no.
no. Last
No.
one. Okay, so it doesn't transfer to real life.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I told you it doesn't transfer physically.
It doesn't.
You
transfer.
already spent most of your luck on that last pull, so you're spent for the day.
Yeah. Anyway, to wrap
Drew is
things
in his
up,
refractory period. Anyway.
to wrap things up with Honkai Star Rail, nice pros and cons on that one is it's a turn-based JRPG, lots of waifus. It's actually a little bit more friendly to the free-to-play players like me, as long as you're not greedy and you're not trying to get all the stars on endgame. So if you're patient enough, you could. Somebody actually did it. Who he didn't finish all endgame content. He didn't get maximum rewards, but he was able to clear almost everything without doing those pulls. So it's actually really doable. So out of all the Honkai Hoyoverse games, this one is the most free to play friendly. Anyway, if you're gonna try it, it's available on PC, iOS, Android. I'm not promoting this. I'm not getting paid for this, although I wish I was, even if it's just a little bit more Stellar Jades. Anyway, I recommend it if you like strategy, turn-based strategy RPGs. If you like anime style, like the ones in Atelier or the ones in the Falcom games, you want quick turn-based combat. You could just autoplay it sometimes. But the cons on this one, when you get into the higher levels, it's gonna be really, really grindy. And I think that's one of the recurring themes for most gacha games. When you get into the end game, you're gonna be playing the same things, doing the same things over and over again because you're gonna be grinding for materials, you're gonna be grinding for experience and etc to get your characters into their maximum possible levels. And there's always that great probability factor on anything you do on this particular game. So yeah, it's a nice time waster. The story is quite good philosophically because it raises certain amount of questions. There are certain amount of plot twists in the game. I was able to get to the current story quest around, as I have said, 200 plus hours. So one of the reasons for that is I got a break from work, so just really needed something to play to get my mind off things. And oh yeah, that's probably the wrap up for Honkai Star Rail for me. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for my gotcha game, and I'm really actually really glad I got the thing, the 5 star, the
You get the
Herta.
thing.
Actually,
The
it's yeah, yeah. So guys,
Herta.
just a note: do your polls for gotcha games on live stream so
Oh,
that you get
I will be pulling. All right. How about Sir Jose? Sir Jose, what you got? Speaking of pulling, go.
My
Jose's
game.
got to recover from that for a moment. Okay.
What are you pulling, Sir Jose?
Nothing, I'm not pulling anything. My hands are up here.
Hand check.
Hand-
Both hands,
hand check.
Hand check. Hand check. Come on. Okay.
Nothing. Not pulling anything. But my game, it's a very simple game. It said it fell under the gacha genre, but it is Final Fantasy All the Bravest, and it is iOS and Android game. I don't think they're available anymore, but it's just a game where you play as Final Fantasy characters, but you play mostly as nameless Final Fantasy characters. You're just playing characters that have different jobs, and the mechanic where it comes in that you're buying or pooling characters is you pay, and it's only $1 to get one random it's out of 35 characters that's an actual character from one of the mainline Final Fantasy games. So I've only ever bought 3 characters. And the 3 characters that I got were Bart's from Final Fantasy V, Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, and then last night I did one just to see what I would get, and I got Ash from Final Fantasy 12. The game is very simple. It's just sliding your finger across the thing. It's just sliding your finger across the thing. You
One hour later.
You can tap if you want, but the game is mostly more of a nostalgic trip because you're seeing all these different monsters from different Final Fantasies. There's the soundtrack it's pulling from all the games. But where it really come in is when you get the actual characters, and then you can buy different worlds. So you can buy a world for Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10, and Final Fantasy 13. There are weapons that you can collect that are rarer than the other ones. You have to fulfill certain things. Sometimes it does feel like it's random though. And then same thing for the monsters. Sometimes the monsters, there's certain ones that you can only find on certain stages, and their percentage of popping up is really, really low. But I think I have every character you can get from the actual main game without buying anything. I've seen every single enemy, but I do not have all the weapons, and I don't think I'm going to be buying any more characters. But it's like the super simplest game. I had fun with it. Your characters can die, and when they die, they take, I forgot how long it takes for them to come back. Let's see. It takes an hour for the character to come back, but you do have a party of 30 plus people. So if everyone dies, you got to wait a really long time. There you go. But that's pretty much it for my game, because I didn't want to jump into something else because I didn't think I'd have enough time for it. But this one just happened to be a game that I had played before that fell under the category somewhat, I guess.
So if I understand this right, so all of these sprites are your party members, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
So how come sometimes they disappear?
They die.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought like no, because I thought at first like if they're done attacking, they just go away.
No, they keep attacking as long as they're still alive. When they die, they get blown off the screen. So I guess just so you don't have dead people hanging around.
So what was the fever thing going on? Fever time.
Fever you get once
Fever
every
time.
3 hours, and there's no cooldown on the attacking, so you could just keep continually attacking.
Oh,
So you kind of want to save it for like the bigger bosses,
right?
but it only refills once every 3 hours.
Oh, right. So how like so most likely so you're so how do you suppose to get? So I'm guessing all of the characters here from 1 up to 15, or
I think
characters from
so.
Final Fantasy 1 to 15. So how exactly do you get the different characters here?
I know I forget who you start off with. You only start off with like 4 different characters, and it's random, and you'll just start unlocking different jobs, which are different characters. And then when you go to the
Right.
shop, that's when you can actually get like they call them a legendary, which is just a main character from Final Fantasy games.
So that means you don't have all of the characters in the library.
No.
So it's just like for example for Final Fantasy 7 it's only Cloud. For
Yeah.
8 it's only Squall.
Yeah.
For 9 it's only Zidane.
No,
For 10 it's only Tidus.
there might be
Something
more
like
than
that?
one, because I know you can be Cloud and you can be Tifa in Red 13.
Oh,
But you
right.
have to pay and hope that you get them whenever you do pay for it.
Right. Do you also have summons in here, or it's just them attacking with
No
magic?
summons, just attacking.
Oh,
Summons at all.
would be nice. Guys, any other thoughts about this game? All the bravest.
Yeah, I thought when Sir Jose brought this up, I thought he was talking about Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Final Fantasy actually released so much
Yeah, they
gacha
did.
games like Opera Omnia. There's also the TCG collecting game one that got shut down. Anyway, these games really would prey on your nostalgia and your love for these games, and you're gonna get hook, line, and sinker with them. You're gonna be spending at least this one. You're just spending to get your it's it it's like you're also pulling for the you also do the pulls for this one, Sir Jose.
You pay like the $1 and it'll just randomly summon a character.
Oh yeah, so it's
Yeah.
the same.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's so very very faithful to the art style of the older Final Fantasy. So that's one thing that they have on that. But this is like more on auto battler.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't add this one to the list of gacha games that I played. Actually, before playing Honkai Star Rail, I was the last gacha game I played was Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and the reason why I stopped playing that game is because it clearly really is trying to get you to pay for you to be able to actually progress on the events on the and at first all you needed was 5 stars, but then they got greedy, they went and added 6 stars, then they got more greedier, they went and added 7 stars. For you to be able to get 7 stars, you need to actually fuse 5 6 stars, and just think about the probability of you getting 5 6 stars of the same character. So that's how greedy some gacha games tend to get. So um it's either you stop playing and just accept that it's no longer fun, or just stop playing because you no longer have money. So those are the two things. Those are the two things that the gacha games are gonna make you end up doing. So just stop when you're no longer enjoying the game. Anyway, sorry to put so much blab on your pick, Sir Jose. Anyway, awesome pick, awesome pick.
How about Miss Hinu? What you pulling?
Uh, so, so I mentioned earlier in our intro that I haven't played a lot of gacha games because just like Shin over there, once I get addicted, I can't stop. Plus, you see the mountain of backlog I have behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
never gonna touch these if I get addicted to like a gacha game or an MMO. That's why I stop myself from starting. And right now I've been just sticking to one game. It's some other friggin' Fate Grand Order. It's one of the
Son of a
oldest
bitch. Okay.
Are you still okay?
running gacha games. Shut up.
Pago. I've been playing.
Um
How's Pago going?
No.
How are you
Pago.
going?
The Japanese release was in 2015, so it's actually turning 10 years old for the Japanese version. And the North American release, with the one that I'm currently playing, is like turning 7 or 8 this year. So I've played it on release because I was a fan of, Fate Stay Night, other Type Moon franchises under that umbrella. So I was like, oh, more lore, like, more servants. Saber is one of my favorite characters of all time. So, the very thought that I get to play as a mage who can potentially summon these familiars, these heroes, legends, myths, whether they be human, supernatural, whatever, they
That is
become my
great
familiar,
civilization.
and they help me save the world. So that sounds like a fun thing to do because it, I guess if I'm gonna sum this up, someone messed up the timeline of human history. So you get to basically kind of time travel to the past, correct the timeline so that you're gonna save the future. And to help you out, since you're a magus, you need familiars. You're not really a particularly strong magus, so you need help from these spirits, heroic spirits. They can be good, they can be bad, whatever, but you need their help. So yeah, like other gacha games, I guess the main driving force for people to play this would be, of course, the characters. Um, of course, there are the characters that are already well known from the anime and from the spin-off games, manga, light novel, and fans of those other Fate franchises come in
Yeah. Like good
into the game.
civilization, right?
Very good civilization,
Very
and
good
you
civilization.
know they wanna see their characters. I mean, how can they contribute to like the bigger story, the universe? And I forgot which one of you guys mentioned it earlier. This is also like a fantasy for all fans because you're seeing crossovers from like this Fate series number one and this Fate series number two, and then what's gonna happen if the characters interact with each other and whatnot. So people keep coming for both existing characters and as well as new characters. Now, where's my I have my friggin' notes here. Da, 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 da. Now, since I mentioned that this is also one of the oldest running gacha games, mobile at least, I don't think it's released on the PC. So currently, it's only available via iOS, Android, and maybe you can play it on a tablet or on a PC using like virtual machine, virtual phone, whatever. So unlike the games that were mentioned earlier, like the Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, if you can see in the gameplay videos, it's still in 2D. Just like the Final Fantasy, it's 2D. And since it's also like an older game, it doesn't have any automation. A lot of fans have been wishing to have automation for this game, but to anyone who's familiar with the game, I don't think it's something that you can automate because for automation, it's like I guess it can only happen if like all the characters just attack, attack, attack. But here you need to select different types of attacks or whatnot, strategize. So it may be a little bit more complicated to implement automation, or maybe the company is just lazy. I mean, they're still earning big bucks for the game, so if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? What else? Da, 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 da. It was mentioned before that one of the cons of gacha games is that people spend real life money. If they run out of the game currencies that you can use so that you can roll for your character, if those run out, and if you really like a certain character that's currently featured, other people would, put in their card information, use real life money. Now, as mentioned earlier by Drew, in other countries, there are some kids who actually input in their parents' credit card information so that they can continue playing the gacha game until they get their favorite character. Now, what's FGO is actually a very unforgiving game when it comes to the gacha aspect because before it didn't have any pity system. Like even if you try and roll for your character 1,000 times, spending upwards of $500, $1,000 or more, there's no pity. They won't give you like this higher chance of guarantee that you're gonna get the featured character. God, I think they only implemented it maybe after 5 years, 6 years, or whatnot, because other games actually have it. So basically, they were forced to have the pity system, and yeah, but they know that they can still earn money. They're still earning money. They do not have 3D characters. They do not have 3D cutscenes, voice cutscenes. It's very, very limited. They don't have automation. And yet, I saw a post earlier on Reddit, and we have here the revenue monthly report for December 2024 for gacha games, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fate Grand Order, top 5. First one is Love and Deep Space. I'm not familiar with it. Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact. So we see there the Hoyoverse games are dominating the field. We have Fate Grand Order, and then of course we have the older titles which are more well known from before. We have Arc Knights at number 7, Infinity Nikki at number 9, Azure Lane 12, Uma Musume, Dragon Ball at number 18. So a lot of games. I guess to anyone who would like to get into gacha games, there's a variety of genres that we would have here. We have like Fate Grand Order, wherein you can play as a master. You're a mage and you're there to save the world. We have Genshin Impact, I think they call you like adventurer. We have other games wherein they call you as admiral. I think Shin is the one who play that. Some people call you sensei. So it's more of like the role playing aspect of it all. You get to embody the character. You get to have these allies. You get all of these pretty characters, male, female, and whatnot, and you just get to enjoy the adventure overall. Now, as mentioned by Drew, if you get into gacha games, be responsible with how you spend, because yeah, at the end of the day, it's kind of like gambling. Sure, you can make a career out of it, but just make sure that's not gonna make you go into the red. Uh, what else? Oh, and lastly, I heard from my friends that there's a certain gacha game, Grand Blue Fantasy. It's the game actually that Drew showed earlier. They have a collab with the anime slash manga Negima. So to anyone
Ooh.
who's a fan of Negama and who's also playing or used to play Grand Blue Fantasy, maybe that is a collaboration that you guys would like to check out. Now, yeah, I guess that's for me. Last word. If you want to try out Fate Grand Order, I say good luck to you, Master. That is hell you are walking into. Back to you guys.
And
Um,
yeah.
do you need to for the casual players? Do they need to at least watch some of the anime series, or at least read some of the comics to appreciate this further, or they can just go blind?
You can go and blind the game because the the contents of the game, they only focus on like what was written specifically for this game. They may make references for the other series, but it's yeah, it's not really needed. You can just jump in and play.
Just jump in and play and pull. There you go. Fate
I'm
Grand
sorry.
Order.
Sorry, I forgot to add in. The thing that I like about Fake Grand Order is that since all of the artworks are in 2D, they're all hand drawn, they're not the 3D models. They get to collab with different artists from all over the world. So if you're gonna see like this card from this hero from England, this card from the a hero from US or a historical figure, you get to see the different art styles of different artists. They do not
Ah,
stick to one style, and I think that shows variety. I think it really makes things fresh, and it gives the community more of like a collaborative spirit. And since we're talking about like the legends from around the world, there are times wherein we get newer storylines. For example, I think we got some stories from India. People like us who are not familiar with like Indian mythology, folklore, etc. You get to experience that in the game. I think there was also one for, was it Thailand or Malaysia? I mean, you get to learn about the cultures or the mythos of other countries. Although the disclaimer is the, a lot of things are kind of bastardized, Japanified, or whatever you would say. So yeah, but that's it for me. Thank you again, guys.
they took liberties. Basically, what she's saying. All right. I was going to say, yeah, I did observe that there are certain artwork that's not very consistent. So, Miss Hinu mentioned they hired different artists to illustrate some of the characters here differently. How about you, Sir Joe? What are you pulling? And Sir Joel's mic is off. Currently muted.
Sorry
Let's.
about
Oh,
that. This whole screen sharing thing with a newly reformatted computer is extremely confusing for me. Opera has come out with a few new features, and I'm still trying to find my way around them. But yes, I apologize, guys. The game that a little bit of a disclaimer first. I know everybody here has is this gotcha isn't really their first game of choice, and it's the same for me. It's a relatively new phenomenon in the gaming landscape. In my terms anyway, because I'm all of 52 years old, and it's only gotten really popular in the video gaming landscape within the past 10 or 15. So yeah, as JD would say, it's a whippersnapper thing. But yes, um I have started a few. I started off on Genshin, I started off on Honkai. It didn't never really stuck with me. Although it really did draw in my wife and my daughter. They're huge Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail players. They love playing it, but they're, like me, they're makunat pa sa tikoy. They don't spend money on it. They just play for the fact that they try to draw as much of those what do you call those the wishes or whatever, as much as they can. They grind it, really. They have the patience for it, and I don't. I mean, as Joe is wont to say, ain't nobody got time for that anymore at my age. So yeah, I would say the only game that I started off on recently that I might actually consider sticking to is this game that I have in my background called Infinity Nikki. Now, let me just share my screen. Let me just do this one very quickly. The thing about it is the game Infinity Nikki is a very relaxed, what's the right word for it? It's very girly. To not put a too fine of a point on it. It's a very girly gotcha game, in the sense that it's the focus is based on outfits, based on the clothes that you can gather all throughout your adventure. The story is not violent at all. If there's any kind of violence, it's in the boss battles, and the boss battles are extremely simple. About the only what's the right word for it? About the only violence that you can inflict on anybody is a purification spell, because a lot of the enemies have some kind of corruption to them, and one of your outfits allows you to throw purification spells at them for you to start collecting what they call blings or whims, so that these things can allow you to spend in-game currency or gather materials for you to craft all these outfits that allow you to do things like float around. A certain outfit will allow you to go fishing. A certain outfit will allow you to catch bugs. A certain outfit will allow you to fix electronic appliances, and it's extremely easy to get into. And about the only thing that I can say is that it's so simple that for you hardcore game players, it might not appeal. But some people have said that this is basically an open world Atelier game. If you are familiar with the Atelier series, Atelier Iris, Atelier Mana, and all that, this is basically the open world version of it. It's got a very simple plot. You are isekai, of course, into a world where you have to wake people up from comas. You do a lot of these tasks so that you are going to be helping people out throughout the world. Like petting animals, accomplishing fetch quests, things like that. And the gacha mechanic is not intrusive to the point, well, so far not yet anyway, where you can't progress through the game without going through it. The gacha mechanic is where you pull for certain clothing items. Like certain outfits have attributes like cool, whimsical, fantastical, exciting, sassy, sexy. And part of the competition of the game in game is where for you to be able to progress is that you have to go up against certain what's the right word for it? Specialists who are specialists in fashion. So this specialist will say, okay, I want you to give me a clothing outfit that is sassy, something like that. So the sassiness outfit that you have to put together has to have all of those parts that are that have pushed the sassy attribute. And there's a star rating to all of them. Some of them don't go well together, some of them do. And yeah, the game itself is extremely easy to get into. So easy, in fact, that I would say it fulfills the what you would call this, the portion of the um of the of the gaming argument where it is supposed to be addictive. It's the razor blade analogy. You buy a razor, it's extremely cheap, it's extremely easy to get into, and if you need the razor blades, they're expensive. Then that's where you roll for it. That's how you pull. Now the thing about it is the it's also one thing I have to say about this game is it is extremely beautiful. I don't know what it is about this game in particular, but it I know it's made in Unreal Engine 5, but it is a gorgeous game. We're talking like it is there was this one sequence. Let me just show this to you if I can share this with the show. Let me just do this. Let me just do this one quickly. There you go. Where the missus asked me to do this for her, and it's basically riding a gigantic paper crane throughout a very dreamlike sequence. And this song is playing in the background. It's a haunting song. It's quite immersive to the point that where you think this is a free to play game. Dang, these guys really thought hard and long on how to transmit the feeling of it being a dreamlike world. And I was on a large 65-inch screen. I was watching this whole thing. Because the missus is very bad with leaping and platforming sections of the game. This part, when I got through it, it was gorgeous that I myself, a hardcore hardened gamer, stopped and watched the entire sequence with my mouth agape, open, because of how beautiful it is. And honestly, it's to the point where you say, if the West does not step up its game and try to, parallel or surpass this, the Western game industry is going to get crushed with how amazingly beautiful this game is, Infinity Nikki. So it's honestly, I don't even know how to say this to whoever it is playing right now, who is watching right now. The game Infinity Nikki, it's a gacha game. It's very simple. It's extremely easy to get into. The pulls are not onerous, not yet anyway. I haven't gotten to the point where I can't progress through the game without pulling. But if I can tell Shin, or if I can tell Miss Momo, if you're gonna play a game, this game is the game to start off on, because it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's really easy to play. It's not horrendously frustrating. It's got fishing, definitely a plus for me. It's got fishing mechanics, bug catching mechanics, animal petting mechanics. It's got all these different elements that come together in a very interesting manner, where you don't even think about the gacha portion. The missus and I were talking about the money part of it, the actual money part of it, where you have to get jewels if you wanted to buy certain outfits. You don't have to do that, because you can craft all those outfits as you go out throughout the game. The flowers that you pick, the whatchamacallit, the dyes that you can create and everything. All of these gems and jewels so far have not been to the point where you have to spend on them. You can buy them, definitely, and if you were a whale like Shin is or was, then you could spend about $99 and basically get the entire game already handed to you on a silver platter, because of all the outfits that you're going to be able to buy. But part of the fun of it is for you to explore this open world, and it's not just finished already. It's going to be added onto every single cycle. I think a cycle of every 6 months they add a little something to it. The same way with Genshin Impact, they expand the world. They add more to the storyline. They add more to the world. They add more to the fashion. And honestly, I'm not a fashion guy, and some people squawk about diversity and equity and inclusion
Oh
in
no.
games. Honestly,
You already got it. You already got it, Kuya Joel. You already got my
oh,
wife.
Miss Momo, okay, it got me the crafting. There you go. The thing about it is, some people squawk about diversity, equity, inclusion here in the West, and they force these crazy ideas onto people. This one is organic in the fact that I, as a male hardcore gamer who is very much at home with killing demons in Doom and going into hell, is just having just as much fun, if not more, in playing this game, Infinity Nikki, going through the world, gathering clothes for my character, making her look good, and interacting with all the different characters all throughout the world. It's it's a good approach to how showing how the female mind is and how it makes them feel the way. And I know it's not really how every female thinks, but it is a good way to have an insight into what the difference is in their approach with gaming as opposed to the male mind. So, Infinity Nikki, give it a try. I'm absolutely sure you, Miss Momo, in the audience right now, you're gonna love this one. You're
Oh,
gonna.
she's gonna be staying up. She's gonna be staying up. I already know it. She's staying up.
It's really, really
Uh,
pretty.
It is. It is.
It's really
I mean,
The dress and everything.
if Disney actually tries to make a game
Mhm.
for Disney princesses without all of those, without adhering to certain political things, this
Mhm.
would be the result
Let me
of
ask
what
Miss Momo.
Disney.
With what sorry, with Miss Hinu, with what I've shown so far, with the visuals that I've shown with Infinity Nikki, would something like this appeal to you as a female feminine gamer? Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, fashion,
Yes.
just the fashion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It really looks like a beautiful game. And I was supposed to ask you earlier about how do you feel playing that as someone who grew up in the 80s, being hardcore and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
And, I'm glad to hear that
Mm.
you said that you got intrigued and it looks like you want to continue playing. I mean, at the end of the day, it proves that no matter the genre, if a game is a good game,
Yes, that's it.
players will
Make
and
good
will
games.
like
People
that.
buy it.
Will still continue playing
Yeah.
that. And I think from the videos that I've seen earlier, what I've liked is that because there's this certain trope that when you create games that are catered for like for women, for girls, they need to have all of these hearts, all these pink on pink UI. This gives us more of a variety to
Mhm.
things. It's not all rainbows, hearts, and unicorns. Earlier, you mentioned Joel about the sense of loss, the emptiness, the dreamscape, which I really appreciate because that's not something that you see every day, and I would love to see more reactions like from the male gamers, see what they think about this, if is it something that they would like. And yeah,
Mhm.
I'm glad, and thank you for sharing to us this game. It looks really, really fun and good.
And the nice thing about
Yeah.
it too is that controls are really tight. The missus might not appreciate it because of the fact that she doesn't like platforming sequences, but the jumping portions, the aspect, they're extremely tight. We're talking good control. The character moves exactly how you want them to move. There's no sliding to it. There's no slipping. There's no inaccuracies. If you're aiming for a portion, if you're aiming for a portion of the map that of the jump that you want to get into, you will get there exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's not touchy feely weird. You're just guessing where you're gonna land. You know where you're gonna land, and it is.
Oh, then definitely Momo's gonna love this then, if that's the
Mhm.
case.
Miss Momo is
Um,
going to enjoy this, I think. Yeah, Joe,
all
you're about to
right. I got four things to say about this game.
say. Oh my goodness.
Number
Okay, here
one.
we go.
Right. Number
Oh
one.
boy.
Leave it to a man of culture like Sir Joel to pick a game like this. All right. Number
It does a
two.
lot.
Number two. Something that is designed for girls. A lot more men are playing this game.
Yes.
That's a
Number
lot.
three, number three, leave it to guys to deal with more fashion sense in a small amount of time rather than the girls picking dresses for hours and hours on end. And number four, number four. Anyways, it's not safe for work for me to say.
No, no, no.
Anyway, oh no no no. I mean, no, scratch that. So I did try to listen for the Crane song,
Oh, the
and the
Crane
first
song is
and the
amazing.
first 10 seconds of it, yeah, I like it. I'm gonna
Yes,
download that.
great.
I'm gonna download
Honestly,
the song.
if you YouTube it, you will get the feel of how awe-in was. I was like, this. I was
Yeah.
just so blown away. Like if you are
No,
looking,
well, all the screenshot that you've been showing so far, like
Mm,
especially for the part where the clothes are at,
yes,
the first thing that comes to my head was like I could already picture Momo going like this, and like
All right.
literally that's how I'm picturing my wife right now. If she's like looking at all these dresses, and I'm just like, oh boy, here we go.
if you
Here we
enjoyed the
go.
cabaret club mini game at all in Yakuza, where you dressed up your
Yeah, it's kind of like this. You're
you
right.
will love this game. You will enjoy this game.
I'm
Honestly.
actually
Guys.
gonna. Yeah.
It's not every day that girls who are used to playing style savvy and whatever dress up game finally get an open world game that still lets you dress up. Holy cow, that's a dream come true
Mhm.
to a lot of
Oh,
people.
That's why I could picture. That's why I could
uh,
picture my wife
I'm sorry,
says
guys.
that's she's basically
When
playing this with the dress that she just picked up, and specifically like all the combinations, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I love this one dress! I'm gonna use this dress now." And then she's just gonna jump on one
Uh,
platform to another. It's gonna be hours and hours, and she's gonna
You were
be
about to
playing
say,
this. I
Joe.
can see
I
it.
think Joe's about to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he hung for a moment. Okay. Anyway,
I,
he can come in. The fact is, honestly, I would say, it's the fact that this game is so alluring right from the get go that I think you guys, I'm secure enough in my manhood to be able to play almost any genre kind of game, whether it's made for guys, whether it's made for girls. I don't care as long as the gameplay is there, as long as it appeals to me, I will play it. And I gave this game a chance. I'm looking forward to another game in the future called Ananta, which is like an open world Grand Theft Auto game that is in anime style. That is going to be the guy version of myself. But the fact is, this game, Infinity Nikki, has caught my attention because of the fact that it's simple to get into. The gacha portions are not onerous, where you have to roll every single time for you to be able to get through the game. You can actually get through the game without buying a single thing.
Oh,
It just makes it.
well, that's a good question. I
Mm,
actually wanted
yeah.
to ask that question in
Mm,
regards to the gotcha.
go
Are
ahead.
the
Mm,
clothings like really fancy, pretty clothes? Are they locked in gotcha?
yes, they are locked in gacha. And the thing about it
Oh,
is
that's
you
going to be
craft
hard.
or you discover bits and pieces of the outfit. It's not the entire
Oh, so
outfit.
you can actually create that, like
Yeah,
if you want a specific
exactly.
skirt or whatever, you
Yes,
can scrap that.
bracelet.
Oh no! Oh
this is
no!
gonna break the model for gacha games.
Yes, everything.
Momo's. I'm sorry, my wife is definitely gonna be locked in this game because, like, the crafting. You see,
Yes.
here's the thing.
Mm,
She loves crafting,
mm.
and the fact that you're basically having her have a game where she can craft a specific outfit.
Oh yeah.
You see, people that are OCD when it comes to crafting, they cannot fall asleep up until they could find that material. If they need to grind it, they will grind it.
Uh-huh.
So,
So let me tell you,
oh
Shin,
boy.
I am not responsible if Miss Moma becomes addicted to this and you've lost her for the next year or so. So
That's like that's like grinding for
Oh boy.
armor drops on monsters,
yes.
basically.
Oh no.
Yeah, Joe is back. You were about to say Joe. Go ahead.
I'm to
I don't know.
download.
Yeah, I pulled too hard. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We got a message from Sir Viraj Katwadia, and he says, "Infinity Nikki is gay as hell." All right. speaking of a man of culture, hardcore man of culture. Let's go with Shin's game.
Mm.
Okay, for my game, it's not really that well, I guess it is somewhat cultured, but a lot of people that did start with gotcha games, Kantai Collection or Kanko, Azure Lane. The game that I pick is actually called Girls Frontline. There is already a sequel for it now, but I haven't tried the sequel yet. But I played the first one. Let me just send you a file, a video file. Screen share this baby down here. Um, Basically, it's like a strategy kind of game, but not really much of a strategy, but more of like let's say, oh, maybe we can turn off the audio on that one. There you go. Basically, like you have to play as like these dolls or cyborgs that are named after specific guns in history. As you can see, all their names right there, they're all names of real guns that exist in real life. It's basically making a gun turn into a waifu. Kind of similar to the same thing as Azure Lane. You have like these boats or these vehicles basically named after that, and then they turn it into waifus. And all you have to do is just like collect all these girls, and then try to level them up, try to upgrade them up until they become this very very strong gun, as I would call it. Gacha wise, the problem with this one is just like similar to every other gachas, is that like the really really powerful 5-star type of characters are hidden behind a full gun waifu, gun gaifu. Damn it, damn it, Jose. But it's basically like the story wise is it's actually a little bit too complicated because the story was connected to a old other game that was like prior to Girls Frontline. And the thing is that you could actually end up finishing the game itself, but there's always events where there's like a story behind certain things, and you just play through it. Certain characters, you really really have to have a really good pull in order for you to get them. There is a system in there which is like if you type in this specific code or like specific numbers within the gacha pool, you could get this specific ingredient. The problem, however, is that not all the time you're going to get a 5-star. So, in my case, which is like a big fan of German guns, because, Deutschland über alles, even my waifu there is basically MP40, which is like an old World War II gun, because, I love World War II stories. And the thing is that like for me to collect all of these guns that are from Germany, from World War II, even though I already got all of them, they're not as strong. So I actually have to go and grab myself like a 5-star and have to pull it out. Otherwise, even if I level them up to their utmost fullest, if I don't have a specific 5-star, 4-star gun, it's really hard to progress. And that's basically what kind of turned me off a little bit and kind of like made me stop. But I think what kept me going was that like the story at least was a little bit kind of immersive, because you are the Shikikan / commander, and this is around the time before kind of like me and Momo met. So, but around that time, later on, I actually kind of distance myself away, because when you reach to the waifu, not first waifu, different, there's a difference. But basically the problem with this game is that like you cannot really progress that far unless you really have really really strong waifus or guns. So I kind of pulled off away from it. Like I said, I'm an ex-Shikikan now, because the con here is that like you really need to spend a lot. And when I realized that I'm already spending at least like beyond $100 just to actually get a pull, that's when you know that like, yeah, that's not gonna do well for me. I try to look for every tutorials out there, but the problem is that most tutorials online, for you to strategically finish this certain stages, they're like, you need this specific gun waifu, you need to have this specific character, and I'm like, but in order for me to have that, I have to pull off 5-star, right? So yeah, that's the only con out of it. But all in all, the pros of this game is that like if you're into guns historically and you like even modern guns, this is a game for you, because at least now you can actually put a face into these guns. Con, gacha. That's all I can say about it.
Message Message
sorry,
to
sorry,
Miss
go ahead.
Momo. Yeah, he meant what he said.
I was gonna say,
Okay,
shit,
Joel.
it does remind
It
me a little
feels
bit of
like
that
me and
old.
Chin are like veterans or whatever for gacha games. Jesus Christ, that's also one of the longest running
You know,
gacha
Yeah.
games.
I was also reminded, Shin,
Yeah,
of
even around the same time as FGO. Yeah. What's
yeah, I
up?
was also reminded of the other game called Azure Lane, where it's battleships
Yes,
as
it is.
waifus. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's battleships, waifus. This one is guns.
This one is
there's
guns.
also
Okay.
one for horses. Also one for horses.
Yeah, that's a different one. That's a racing one. I don't
Yeah.
know if that have ever reached the American shore or the international shore yet, but
Hmm.
I know which one you're talking about because yeah,
The anime,
I
Horse
have.
racing and their
anime is
idols.
real good. It's like sports anime. It's like track and field.
Oh,
Ignore
that
the
sounds
horse
Yeah.
part.
I might get into that. Okay.
Yeah. Waifu
Yeah, it's actually
horses.
like a very interesting anime. Christine Joel, you
Something
need to
that
watch
you
it
would
out.
yeah, it's something you would want to ride on.
Okay.
In
Hey,
both
he's the one who said that, not me.
Yeah. And I
yes,
was gonna say
you
Shin might be
both
into World War II. I'm planning on getting into World War One, naman. And it started off with
Oh
Battlefield,
yeah.
Battlefield One. So
hmm
we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, this is
No, there's actually some World War One guns on this one as well, I
oh really?
believe.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just like they're basically covering every guns out there.
Oh, okay.
But the most majority ones that they did start off with are the ones like around in the 1920s, 1940s. So like you would be surprised that there's a Thompson in there, and then Thompson looks like a detective.
Mhm.
IDW looks like this like really annoying cat.
If there's
Um,
one thing I'll say about the anime representations and things like this. Some people in the West might balk at the idea of women being guns being represented as anime women and everything. You have to say they're really creative. It's quite amazing how they can represent all of these different concepts in different ways. Like I said,
yeah, and it's like the gun actually almost like you could really say that it matches the personality.
Mhm.
That's the thing that what I like about it is just that like
So
yeah,
what
I
is the
can see why
Kalashnikov?
you made this into the Russian ones. I believe there's the AK-47 one was I can't remember much how she looks like, but the counterpart for the MP40, she basically looks like a typical Russian girl that actually has like this the Russian outfit kind of thing, like little maiden
Oh,
that actually out in the frills kind of thing.
don't tell me the
Um,
Glocks look like gangbangers. What?
The Glock one, no, he doesn't look like a gangbanger. But basically, like they have a specific personality that you
Okay.
would even say, like, yeah, you could tell that they
Mhm.
really did thought about it of how they would look like.
Okay.
There are some guns that I'm just like, I can see why you turned this into a lowly because it's like a really mini compact gun. This one gun is a little bit kind of annoying because it asks for your praise all the fucking time. So I'm just like, it is a noisy gun, so it makes sense.
Hmm. Okay.
So, which one would be Sir Joe's favorite gun?
For him,
Punk
Which
action
guy
game.
food does he want?
that's a good question. I mean, he's more of a.
the bazooka one. The one
I don't know.
with the
Was there a bazooka? I don't think there was a bazooka one in there. I think he's more of like the I can't remember the name of that gun. The Israel Jewish sniper gun. I think he's more of like that character.
The Mosin Nagant?
Yeah, I think it is. I think he's more of a Musid Nagan.
Hmm.
And the speaking of like anime, they also came out with like anime as well, which is like the Girls Frontline Healing, which is like all of the comic 4 commas that came out during the now loading screen and also on the website itself. They turned into an anime. So you could finally hear even like what I like about it is that the voices of the guns were the same voice actors and actresses that they hired for this animation. So it pretty much
Anime,
was like
like
really amazing. Yeah.
actual anime or Game Shark Code
Well, it's,
anime.
oh no, anime as in like 4 comma anime. So that's why it's easy to make.
Right.
I know that they did have like an anime sooner or later, but I haven't fully watched it yet because, like I said, I kind of
I
like
think
I tried to push
I'm
myself
more
away
familiar
from
with the
Girls
Game Shark
Frontline.
Code one. I'm
The
more
Game
familiar
Shark.
with the Game Shark Code version of it.
Oh God,
For
no,
those
no,
people
no,
who
no, no.
don't know the game shark code, 6 digits. You know what I mean. You know.
No, 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 no. Not that one. Not that one. That's a different one. That's the one you see from Pornhub and whatnot. So
All right.
I said corn, okay?
Oh, you
Corn.
did? Okay.
We do love our corn. Corn hub, guys. Support your local corn hub. All right. I think I'll go last. So for my pick,
You're the
for the
last to
gacha
pull
game,
out.
the last pull out. Okay, because I'm careful like that.
He has huge stamina.
So the way the way I see gacha games, okay, they are the drug pushers of the gaming community. All right, they will give you a taste for free. All right, just to prepare you for the awesomeness that it promises you eventually as you move along with it. And like the panel mentioned too, yeah, so it's either you got way too much time or you got way too much cash to spend. All right, so let's be very careful. So that in mind, I chose this one. It's called Solo Leveling Arise. Okay.
Oh, really good
Okay.
comic.
So this one here. So this is basically this is based from the Korean web novel by Chu Gong. All right. Um, and I'll go straight ahead with the gacha mechanics about this game. So for what I can tell, all right. What about this then? For solo leveling Arise, the game gives the player with various reward currencies using gacha mechanics. Oh,
I love how
ad.
like he's describing it and
Ad.
the ad is playing a
There
video
you
game.
go. so so the rewards themselves. So the reward currencies can be in the form of gold coins, crystals, diamonds, tickets, and vouchers. Okay, and each one of those can be used to exchange into another currency equivalent when unlocking certain items and equipment. And speaking of tickets and vouchers, so the game uses tickets to allow you to make a random draw or a pull in this case, and the results can be other characters, equipment, weapons, or items with different rankings. It goes with R, SR, SSR, SSSR, USSR, and whatever you get, you will end up keeping. Although there is also called a special summons draw, which, to my understanding, you will need to pay actual cash money, actual dollars, for you to keep whatever shows up. So that means even if you pull out the best items or the best characters so far, unless you pay for them, you won't be able to keep it. That's the thing. Well, what else about to say about this game? Oh, so you will get other rewards by getting achievements and completing certain challenges, such as doing certain tasks a number of times, fighting certain enemies, or finishing quests or a story chapter. You will also get rewards for completing daily missions, including logging back in and out after enough hours has passed since you last played. And once you get to clear out the monster dungeons, in this case called gates, that's what they call them, gates. You can mine for crystals. With enough crystals, you can exchange the crystals for other items that can enhance your weapons and your equipment. And each gate has their own rank as well, and the mining time varies depending on the rank of a gate. You can speed up the time by paying if you want to. Um, Installing this game for the first time did take me a while. Maybe because it depends on your internet speed or your hardware capabilities. And aside from the main program, the revision patches can also take a significant amount of time to download and install. Uh, you can let it download on the background as you play, but to my knowledge, the download for the patch will restart from the very beginning if you close the entire game should the download is not yet complete. So if you reach the point of the game where the patch is necessary for you to progress, the game will not let you proceed. And so you'll end up exploring the other features of the game has to offer you while you wait for the patch to complete downloading itself. And for those who are being introduced to solo leveling or being introduced to a role playing game like this, the opening tutorial can be enjoyable or can be very daunting at the same time, especially for newcomers. The opening tutorial will teach you the basics and the functions of the overall menu of the game. And that said, it will only teach you what you need to know by pointing you automatically on where you should be doing or what you should be where you should be going. Uh, while on the tutorial mode, the game will not allow you to skip the basics. Oh, sorry. So the game will allow you to skip uh, the game will allow you to skip the tutorial if you feel you don't want to do it. If you feel like you want to wing it, if you feel like you want to Leroy Jenkins it, yeah, you can do that. Um, so the whole point of the solo leveling uh, mantra is that in the first place, solo, a role playing aspect of it anyway, action based, hack and slash. You have a normal attack button. You can spam a dash button, four other buttons that you can press, so you can perform special moves. Uh, what else? Oh, you got your HP, and you get your MP. Be careful be careful not to use your skills too much because once your MP is consumed, then you got nothing else. All you can do is just attack normally. And for your special skills, for your special skills, they have their own individual cooldowns, so you cannot really spam them as much. You don't really roam around the whole overall map anyway. So this game is set in post-apocalyptic Korea, South Korea, and you're not really roaming around the map. So you just find gates, and the game will just shows up a map, and the game just prompts you where you are allowed to go. The gates themselves, the dungeons inside the gates, they look well designed. However, they can get really repetitive as you play along, and it goes the same for the monsters as well. So, for those who are familiar with the story, you follow the adventures of Sung Jin Woo, and how he slowly progressed from a low-ranking hunter into the most powerful hunter in South Korea. Um, so to help Jinwoo to get stronger, he needs to win every battle that comes along and gather experience points. And there are four main ways for the player to get stronger in this. Number one, you can either follow the chapters of the story mode. Number two, subjugate the gates and the monsters during your side quests. Number three, accomplish certain challenges and missions. And number four, using actual cash money to cheat your way into getting stronger. And as you progress through the story mode, certain features will be unlocked, like better skills, characters, equipment, and items. In certain gates, whether in story mode or side quests or missions, the gamer will be prompted if Jin Woo will fight alone, or you will be able to control other playable characters from the story. So just like in the web novel, every level up will give Jin Woo 5 stat points where you can freely allocate to his strength, defense, speed, magic, yada yada yada. And this feature is only available to Jin Woo because if you follow the actual story, he's the only guy who can actually level up. The other players, they remain constant, really, throughout the whole story. However, in this game, you are allowed to level them up, but in certain conditions. Um, what else to say about this? Uh, if you in certain conditions, meaning if you spend some in-game currency and actual cash money, you can level the other characters up. So for the most part, solo leveling arise. It will lock the player in a vicious loop, as far as I can tell. You fight, you level up, you get to get rewards, you do your upgrades, you get stronger, you get to fight again, rinse and repeat. You will control Jinwoo alone during combat. It is solo leveling. It is called solo leveling for a reason. Although you will have other characters as support to give you support, like casting magic or heal you when the time arises. And when doing quests without Jinwoo, you can also fight as one of the characters during battle, and you can swap in and out with the other characters if you include some in your party before the battle begins. Um, this game also will tell you how many hours has been since you last logged in. It will remind you that you have better things to do than wasting your time playing video games. Okay. So far, I only stopped at level 25 with my Jinwoo. So I just like what 10 hours at best, just to prepare for this show. And yeah, that's as much as I can tell about solo leveling. Thoughts, guys? Well,
Does that mean that like it's not open world, since you mentioned something
no,
about gates, so it's like you're going into separate dungeons of some sort?
no, not real. No. So you'll find how very small the world is. Um, if I'm going to describe it simply, it's it's like 60% gotcha, 40% actual gameplay. You'll spend a lot more time on that menu trying to get all of those pulls, all of those draws. And to me, going fighting all over those gates is just the means to that very same end, so you can gather the necessary items for you to level up as much as possible. It can be very repetitive, like the gates themselves. Like I mentioned, very well designed, but you'll find out that, oh, this is the same dungeon design from earlier. It just keeps on repeating,
Different
repeating,
assets.
repeating, repeating.
Um,
So you're not
I'm
really
also
exploring the world map itself.
I'm also intrigued, since unlike the games that were mentioned here in the panel, here you play as someone with an established character, established personality, unlike the other gacha games wherein you can basically self-insert yourself and role play as these characters. I mean, how does it feel? Of course, you played other RPGs, but how
One of the
idea?
main reasons why one of the main reasons why I
Go on.
chose this, because I suck at making my own characters. Like I mean, I'm more as fellow JRPG players, I'm more accustomed to playing well established characters, and and play their own stories, okay, rather than creating my own. And to be fair, for those who are familiar with solo leveling, the developers for this game, they really tried to adhere as much as possible to the source material. With the dialogue and the cutscenes, it pretty much came from the web novel, not from the Korean anime. And we also did like I think we did an episode about solo leveling like last year about
Yeah,
uh
we did an
Yeah, a while
episode
back.
about
Yeah.
the anime
a
review.
while back.
So yeah.
It's really good. That's why out of all of the gotcha games out there, this is the one that I chose because I'm more familiar with it rather than starting in really like blind or fresh. At least this one I already know how the story went, so I skipped pretty much all of those. Um, uh, doing the I skipped pretty much all of the dialogue. I just went ahead doing dungeons left and right just to get all of those power ups as fast as possible, so I can present it to you guys. And yeah, that's solo leveling. Sir Joel, what you think?
I would say it's the closest thing that I would probably compare it to is a game that I played before called Guild Wars 2. You get to play on instances rather than an entire open world. So it's like a small contained area where you go through, like I said, missions or try to battle enemies and everything, and basically grinding up your character. The I'm not quite sure about the fact that the gacha portion, like you said, Joe, is spread to about 60% versus 40% gameplay. That very much runs contrary to the game that I recommended, the Infinity Nikki. If anything, the Infinity Nikki game has a mix of about 20% gacha versus 80% roaming around the world and crafting items and gameplay. So this one possibly on a whim I would give it a go, but I can't see myself sticking to this for the long haul, probably because the focus is way too much on the shall we say, the monetization portion of the gameplay, possibly. So it's not really something that I might go
I mean,
dog
to Sir Joel's point, this
Mhm.
game real. I mean, for all of you guys who are very apprehensive about gacha games, this game is very specifically designed to make you spend money one way or the other. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, even at level 25, I'm starting to feel the grind. I mean, I'm starting to
Mm,
feel the enemies are getting way too stronger, and I'm
mhm.
like, okay, so what? How much experience points do I still need to level up? And I'm like, oh my god! I mean, unless I really pay for, unless I really pay for it, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna,
Yeah, and
I'm not gonna
like I said,
uh,
like I was discussing earlier with
progress any better.
Infinity, the missus and I were computing actually how much you would have to spend for you to be able to reasonably progress into the game. Sure, you can spend the $99 and basically buy the entire game outright, but a starter pack of how many jewels is what, $5 for how many, for I think 60 jewels, and that gets you a reasonably good amount of items for the clothing already. It's not easy on the pocket, but at least it allows you to progress without getting completely stuck. Whereas this one, it looks like you will hit a wall. Really, like, sure, you'll have a lot of fun, but like you said, Joy, it will come to a point where you're hitting a wall already, and it feels like no matter how much grinding you do, you won't be able to progress anymore. And that's, I guess, the frustration factor of the gacha game genre, where you can't progress unless you really spend real world money already. I might play this possibly because of the fact that I did enjoy the solo leveling anime, but I can't see this as being a long term thing on my library, as opposed to something like Ananta or Infinity Nikki, maybe even Honkai Star Rail. I'm surprised Joe never got into Honkai Star Rail because that is a turn based RPG, if anything else. So I'm just curious about that.
I didn't chose Honkai.
Hmm.
I didn't chose Genshin because I
Hmm.
am way up to here hearing about them all the time.
Okay,
Like
okay.
ever since they got announced
Uh,
Mhm.
like 2 years ago,
yeah.
I'm like up to here. Like every Facebook group, like they cannot stop talking about this. I'm like, okay. I mean,
Mhm.
credit where credit is due. I like the art style.
Yeah.
Okay, very sexy
Mhm.
guys and girls. All
Mhm.
right.
Okay.
I mean,
But the fact that they're
turn-based system.
overexposed.
Sure.
basically.
The open
They're
open
open
world.
already.
Sure. And
But
and
by the way, before I forget, because I
Mm.
forget this while reviewing Honkai Star Rail, they actually make very good music on these games, and I have been binge listening to one of the songs that Hope is the thing with feathers.
Mm.
It's actually really catchy, and it's a catchy song when you're actually listening to it
No,
after playing the game. So
honestly, really, with the way that these Eastern games are going, the Western game
all right.
industry had better be
If
put on notice because they're gonna get their lunches.
Well, are we are,
maybe
are we
Speaking of
really going to
Western gacha
open this
games,
kind of
uh,
worms?
I didn't. Okay, so if to me, if Honkai, oh, okay, let's just say if Genshin Impact came out just a standalone
Mm,
JRPG,
yeah.
no, I mean no DLCs whatsoever, no in-game freemiums, okay, no in-game cash money involved. You're not buying anything. Just focus on the gameplay and the story. I would have bought it. I would have bought it. I would have played it. Okay, if they just kept
yeah,
on with it, if the developers didn't get too greedy about it, sure, I will,
it's gonna
I will,
feel like
that's
something
something
like
that I would have played.
Suikoden if it was like that, because you're gonna be collecting the different characters, so it's gonna really feel like something like Suikoden. So that's actually one of the appeals of the certain games, because you're trying to expand your army, you're trying
That's the
to,
thing.
yeah.
That's another thing. I don't really like. I mean, as a old school JRPG player, I can only tolerate 10 party members. Okay, I have
So you
no
don't like
time.
Suikoden.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Collecting
Suikoden is old
108.
school. What do you mean?
One. Okay, okay,
Yeah, so look at
okay,
this old school,
okay.
right?
So,
PS1, come
okay,
on.
look at this an
Everybody,
exemption.
every
Okay,
RPG player
look at
loves
it.
Suikoden.
Look at this. Okay, so look at this. It's an exemption. All right.
Okay,
So it is an
okay.
exemption because you cannot really get the best ending if you don't get the 108 stars for crying out loud. Okay. I'm forced to do it. All right. To get the best ending, we are forced to do it. All right. We want Joey alive. God damn it. We want Gremio alive. God damn it. We need those
No,
108
I don't
stars. Which
care about
reminds
Gremio.
oh, okay. Which reminds me, guys, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster will come out this March 2025. Get your pre-orders done.
And
All
I
right.
think Shin had a point. Had a point.
No, actually, no, I was just about to just say in regards to what Christine and Joel was about to say in regards to like having the Western developers on notice in how to change the game. I mean, it's ox and razor as far as like this is concerned, but the complete answer is that I don't want to say it, but stop pandering on those who doesn't play and pander to those who play. As simple as that.
Oh
Plain and
yeah,
simple.
yeah.
Exactly.
Adding to
Yeah,
that
I'm
one.
sorry.
Adding to that one.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's not to put like a soapbox in here, but I think for the past decade, almost close to a decade, we have already done just way too much of inclusivity and whatnot. That I don't think that's where the key is. We have been too soft and we have been a little bit too inclusive to the point that we're now actually giving voices on those who doesn't even really play a game. They just want representation. I think it's time that we bring back the controllers to those who really wants to play. And if they do have a certain level of pandering towards a certain aesthetics and whatnot, I don't see the problem if it's going to give the money into the developers. But if you guys consider that as greedy and too corporate, I don't think we're on the same page here, let alone on the same fucking library. Just make the game that actually people like.
Simple fact is we do love everybody. We love the people
Yeah.
who are diverse. Heck, I am the perfect example. You would think that
Yeah.
as a dude, I wouldn't play a girl game. Heck, I just played Infinity Nikki. The fact is,
Yeah.
if it is a good game, people will play it. It doesn't matter whether you're, straight, gay, or it's a fucking kitchen table.
Here's a little bit of
I play a girl game.
There you go. See,
I played a retro simulation game called Debut 21, which is to make an idol, and that's a girls game. But what's the name of that game that just recently came out? I completely forget the name of it. It's like basically it's like a space age kind of like Cowboy Bebop. The character's bald. What's the name of that game?
I completely forgot.
Asset, the one by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, the Naughty Dog.
Interstellar.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Yeah, let's put it this way, all right? This is how bad it was. Is that like when they finally introduced it, everybody was like, "Okay, bald character. Okay, we can see where this is going. Okay." You can even see a lot of people on the chat room when it was being released how they're using the W word woke nonstop. All the people have to do after the game was released, the trailer was released, is that they actually posted pictures of the character with hair that they actually like on the character, and somehow some way everybody started to appreciate it. And like I can't help but actually make an analogy out of that, that basically that game is the perfect analogy of how gamers feel, that they have something that is like, you have a product that is missing something, and you keep on forcing to sell it to us with a missing product, and all it took was for a bunch of people to put hair on it that represents. You know what I thought about those people who actually put hair on it? They remind me of the mod community.
The
And
modders.
that's basically where most of the Western games are heading into, is that you're giving us an incomplete game, and the modders decide to actually put it into a certain way that people will like it.
God bless the mod community.
Well, yeah, that's true.
God
Yeah.
bless the
We
mod
did the
community.
actress
God bless
dirty.
the mod
Why did
community.
they
By the way,
Yes.
by
make
the
her
way,
bald?
speaking of
She's
mod,
really pretty.
Yeah, that too. I was about to say that. It's like, the actress that was based out of that, she is a very, very beautiful character actress. And I was just like, they wanted to give it this whole inclusivity, DEI kind of feel to it. So, sorry. I mean, I don't want to sound political here and whatnot, but, I didn't vote for Trump or anything, but goddamn, thank God they're getting rid of DEI,
when
because
when
this
games
problem.
Miss Hino,
Yeah.
go ahead. You were about to say.
Uh, I think a good representation that feels organic, but at the same time, they have this wide breadth of characters, personalities, ideologies. Arcane, the series Arcane, it's so diverse, it's so rich, but at the end of the day, good writing is good writing. A good game is
Yes.
a good game.
Yeah, you
That's-
don't need to
that's
put
how
so
I
much
feel.
inclusivity on it.
I remember. When Claire Redfield got introduced Resident Evil 2, nobody said anything bad. When Jill Valentine got introduced Resident Evil 3, nobody said anything. Parasite Eve came out, nobody said anything about a female protagonist.
Aya Brea.
Even with Dino Crisis 2, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
going a little bit further with Michonne, the samurai sword wielding
yeah, Walking Dead.
African American girl from The Walking Dead. People loved her, so I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell's
the
going.
fact is,
I don't
even
know what people is was complaining for.
two of the biggest gaming icons that we have, Lara Croft and Samus Aran, are female. And that's
Right.
perfectly fine. We
Yeah,
will
but look what happened to Lara Croft
Oh.
through the years.
yeah,
Her
Oh,
evolution.
no.
we
Although
will play a game as long as it's good.
After
As
it's on
long, and the thing about it is, as if you don't make your, shall we say, the diversity the core part of who you are,
Yes,
then
exactly.
it will appeal to everybody. I mean, dudes
Yeah.
will play Son Goku, and he's an alien. I don't see any representation of myself in him, but he is somebody that I aspire to be. So
That's a good example right there. It's like Son Goku can actually, like, for everybody, he's just another character that was like based out of mythical, that also has a mixture of Jackie Chan in it when he grew older. But from African Americans to Latinos to Filipinos to Asians to Spanish, everybody can relate to Goku. Why is that? It's not because of his color of his skin or the color of his ethnicity and whatnot. It's the base out of his character and the way he was written.
yes,
But it seems like it's the most hardest
Like,
thing to grasp when it
for
comes
you
to
to be-
Western productions.
Yeah.
yes, Drew.
For you to be able to relate to something, you don't have to physically look like the avatar, the
Agree.
person, the
Mhm.
character. You don't
It's
need to look like them to feel any for sort of connection. You just need to be able to connect to how it is presented, how your
bingo.
experiences,
Yeah.
how your experiences could vicariously be felt when you're playing the character, when you're watching the character from a movie, anime, or something. It's not just about the color of the skin, the way that it looks. It's never about that. And the
All
moment
right.
that they are trying to tell us that it is about that, that is when it gets into all of those
Exactly.
problems.
I mean, look at it this
Okay.
way. We all grew up with a brave little toaster. He's a toaster, but we all rooted for him to actually find his owner, right?
Yeah.
It's a freaking
So what?
toaster.
So what these guys are saying, guys, getting a little bit socio-political here
Mhm.
in a
Yes, we
gacha
are, but
game. Just
yeah,
because, okay, uh, just because we share the same skin, just because we share the same gender, just because we share the same abnormality, doesn't necessarily mean we walk the same mile. So
Yep.
that's it,
yes.
guys. So closing in,
Mm.
let's do
Mhm.
our shameless plugs. That's it for the show. Let's go with Sir Jose. What you got? Last closing remarks about gotcha games and where can they find you?
Gotcha games. I might try some of the ones you guys said. I Infinite Nikki looked interesting. Honkai Star Rail is one that I've been always wanting to try, but I just never did. So I might try that. But you guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, everywhere as Dark Gothic Fate. And that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Jose. How about Miss Hinu? Your closing remarks about gotcha games and where can they find you?
Enter hell responsibly. And you guys can find me. I'm most active on my Facebook page as well as my Instagram. It's at Hinootora. And make game reviews coming soon since I've finished a couple of games in the past few weeks. So look forward to them. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Be sure to check out her game reviews, guys. Really, really straight from the heart. How about Shin? Closing remarks about gotcha and where can they find you?
Um, just every gotcha games out there are always going to be immersive, and no matter what you do, always remember that try to like what Cicino said is just try to play responsibly. I guess the most cool thing that I could say about it is that like if you actually open up your money, it's no different from basically having a cheat code. And if you actually want to play this and completely appreciate the game that you're playing right now, try to play it without actually opening up your wallet, and you will realize how appreciative the games are. Because if you already whip out your wallet on the first few minutes that you play this game, you know that this game is completely not just for entertainment, but basically just for monetary purposes. Anyways, you guys are going to see me more often here in Timeless Gamers, and just look forward in in the next few weeks. I do have something cooking, and I would like to actually have this moment to give a shout out to my wife who's wonderfully supporting me down there, and also to all of my fellow friends, which is the One Community, which is a group of YouTubers who are all actually making their own contents and whatnot. Giving my regards to all of them, from Kuya Kayo all the way to Magrenesa Kalam and Bro Paku, everybody here in One Community. I love you guys, and hope to look forward for you guys, and also want the best bag regards sa mga ka-armada dyan. I love you all. And that's it.
Shin, is that your first wife or your current wife?
Oh, come on. Such.
Actually, I heard the same thing, but I didn't mention it.
Yeah, me too.
Why,
All right,
boo?
Sir Joel, final words about gotcha and where can they find you?
All right. So I would like to preemptively apologize to Shin and to Jose for their upcoming addictions, and Miss Momo as well, because
I'll
of the
still
fact
blame you.
you're still gonna blame me. I know that, but yes, I would like to preemptively apologize for their upcoming addictions to Infinity Nikki.
Expect a PM soon.
It's the fact that I've seen it happen to the wife, and she's really into the game right now. And now's the perfect time to jump in because it's the lunar new year. They have a special event happening. You guys might enjoy the new clothes that are exclusively
Oh
coming out for
no.
the event. So yeah, gotcha games. You guys, you play responsibly, pull responsibly, enjoy the game for what it is. Real money spent on the game is fine, but not on a continuous basis. Addiction is a real thing. Be very careful with the things that you get into, because of the fact that it is something that you might have a problem with control over. If you know that you have a personality that gets addicted to something, be very careful with how you handle your money. Sure, you can say that you are responsible for your own money, and we always encourage that. Be responsible for your own actions, but still have a modicum of self-discipline when it comes to playing things, because of the fact that it is going to impact your real world life and not just your video game life. So you guys will find me streaming occasionally on rumble.com, on kick.com, on twitch.tv, hashtag FUFB. I'll be streaming a lot. I've been streaming a lot of random games. I'm planning on getting back into my old DOS games library sometime very soon. And yeah, you will always find me here on Timeless Gamers Show, where we do our very best to not just entertain, but educate the audience. Back to you, Joe.
All
I'm so
right.
sleepy. That's tonight.
Thank you for that, Sir Joel, and of course, the crack dealer of the of the episode, Sir Drew.
It's all your fault.
Thank you guys for having me captain this particular topic, but I cannot add any more to what has been said with gacha games, as said by Sir Joel and the other guys. But I'll just try to TLDR this by, when you're gonna play a gacha game, play it up to the point that you are no longer enjoying it, and just try to stop and stay away from it, because that's the bottom line of any game that we are playing, whether it's console or mobile or whatever, whether it's free or something that we paid for it. It's a of entertainment for us. So if we are no longer enjoying it, and it's causing a certain depression, certain anxiety, or any negative impact on you, just try your best to stop from it, because as Sir Joel have said, this is it has so many aspects to get you addicted to it, to get you to be able to fork that man over. And your money is your responsibility, but at the same time, just a reminder: stop when you're no longer enjoying it. Just a word of advice, and try to find enjoyment in the games that we play. Anyway, guys, shameless plug: you could find me at Geek Out Gaijin, both on YouTube and on Facebook. I post videos of various unboxings of certain games and video games and toys that you can find here in Japan. Anyway, back to you, Sir Joe.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Drew. And guys, there are other video games out there that will not gouge you, extort you, or rob you of your money. Okay, take it from a guy who inherited my father's gambling addiction. Okay, so that's
Somebody's
it.
honest.
All right, that's it, guys. That's the show for today. Thank you all so much for staying for this long. Thank you for the panel, and again, happy birthday to Sir JDM. And on behalf of
Happy
Sir,
birthday.
Happy birthday, Sir
happy birthday.
JDM.
On behalf of Sir Viraj, Sir Dan, and Sir Eric, Sir JDM, and Miss Eileen, we got everyone here. Our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey,
Timeless.
Timeless. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
I love you, my wife. I love you.
First wife.
bye, Miss Momo. Second wife. Second wife, apparently.
Bye.
Pray for
I'm so sleeping on the